We are mucus free. 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 We are mucus free.
What's going on, brothers and sisters, and welcome to the Mucus-free Life Podcast. I am Professor Spira, and we have a beautiful, beautiful show for you today. Have some lovely guests. Andrea and Q going to be on here talking about the Callum Thomas Sanctuary, Farm Sanctuary. Very, very awesome spot. And I'm excited to have them on to talk about that. And man, it's been a few minutes since we came together. I just got out of jail. I got out of YouTube jail. YouTube, I've been, basically the censorship has just been absolutely insane. And I'm gonna share this. I want you to feel this pain with me here. This was rough. So I guess I'm in the club now. I'm in the strike, the YouTube strike club. And what they're doing is they're going back to old videos. And I heard Dr. Morris just had this happen to him. Dan McDonald's been dealing with this for years. Anybody that's talking halfway about truth on here, we can go on here and look at all kinds of crazy stuff and people getting beat up and sex things and all kinds of really messed up things. But don't give an opinion that is against the whatever CDC and the World Health Organization and all that. So they literally went back to some old videos. They started taking them down. So you can see here, so I got like 7 days where you can't upload anything. And then I'm on probation basically for 3 months. And so the strike, I guess June 26th is when the strike comes down. So it's getting deep. It's just getting harder. I did, and what really hurt me was I deleted 25 videos. I deleted 25 videos from YouTube. Now, good news is a couple people had suggested like, hey, check out Odyssey, Rumble. I knew about Rumble, didn't really know about Odyssey. So I've backed up my channel. Before all this, I had backed it up on both Rumble and Odyssey. So all of those missing videos are there. I also downloaded all of them before I deleted them. So in the future, I'm going to create some kind of blog post or something where I put all of those videos up, and folks will have access to that. They're pretty much everything dealing with that which we can't talk about on here, that which the dreaded V word and the C word and all that stuff that we can no longer discuss on the platform. And for me, it's not the end of the world. If I get kicked off of any of these platforms, there's a part of me inside that would jump for joy. But the mission part of me that's like, well, this isn't about me and trying to, my little channel and stuff. It's about getting this message and information out to people. And there's a lot of people that tell me that they first hear about the Mucusless Diet Healing System by Arnold Ehret by way of one of my YouTube videos, and usually sometimes one of my older YouTube videos that is being treated favorably by the algorithm. And so I'll do my best. There's at any point, because when they're going through old videos, they can find anything. You go through all our old videos, you're gonna find something that they can mess with. But hopefully, I got rid of the stuff that I know would offend the snowflake class of folks, and in the 1984 Truth Bureau and all that kind of stuff. We remove that, and what that means to me is really going to be time to do our own thing in our own private spaces. And that's something, I've been talking about it for a while. I'm gonna show you really quick this is kind of a little double thing here, but there we go. So very soon I'm going to be inviting folks to join our own private social media platform, the Mucus-free Life Health Club International Private Membership Association. There are some members in here already, folks that had enrolled in my coaching program, but I haven't opened it up to everybody yet. So this is something, I can't tell you exactly when it's going to happen, but I'm just kind of showing you. And this is actually kind of what it looks like. But what I wanted to share from here, in other news, I just broke a 21-day fast, or 21-day juice fast or feast, if you want to call it that, for mostly fruit juice. And I had some revelations, as I do after, if you have a good solid fast, you should have some revelations or something if you're doing it right. Now, of course, I give the disclaimer: this is not medical advice. This is not advice at all. This is me sharing something that I did, my own experiences and opinions, and so on and so forth. And I don't promote long-term fasting, but I know it gets people's attention. People have this thing where they tune into that. So if I make a video that's like, which I might make one that's like, Professor Spira breaks his 21-day fast, here's what he learned. People watch that. I used to avoid making those kind of videos because it's like, that's not the way you want to think about it. I never think, when I'm actually fasting, I really go by Arnold Ehret's methodologies, rational fasting. You don't put a date, and he's very clear, like, you don't put a date like, okay, I'm going to do 21 days, I'm going to do 10 days. No, you look at how conditions change on a daily basis. You're constantly evaluating, analyzing, looking inward as you're going through the fasting process. And before you get to longer fast, you should have gone through many 24-hour fast and 48-hour, 72-hour fast before you start getting into the long-term fasting. And I know that this is something that's different from many of the people that talk about fasting that's out here, that really talk about the real long-term stuff. I never hear them talking about transition diet lifestyle, transitioning into and out of a fast properly. But wanted to read this. I was rereading the Rational Fasting, as I still reread all the books myself, and especially when I was about to break the fast, I'm like, okay, let me get into this a little bit. And in the section out of Rational Fasting, which is also in Mucusless Diet, but fasting when used in connection with the Mucusless Diet Healing System. As I have stated before, I am no longer in favor of long fast. In fact, it may become criminal to let a patient fast for 30 or 40 days on water, contracting the avenues of circulation, which are continually filling up more and more with mucus and by dangerous old drugs and poisons, and at the same time rotten blood from his or her old stock. In fact, actually starving the necessary vital food elements. No one can stand a fast of that kind without disadvantage or without harming vitality. If fasting is to be used at all, then start at first with the non-breakfast plan, just removing breakfast from your daily habit. Then follow with a 24-hour fast for a while, then gradually increase up to 3, 4, or 5 day fast, eating between fasts for 1, 2, 3, or 4 days, a mucusless diet combined individually as an elimination adjustment, and at the same time studying and rebuilding the body continually with and by the best elements contained in and found only in mucusless foods. Through such intermittent fasts, ding, 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 Arnold Ehret coined that term. People stole it and messed it up. He coined it right here. Through such intermittent fast, the blood is gradually improved, regenerated, can more easily tolerate the poisons and waste, and the patient is able at the same time to dissolve and eliminate disease deposits from the deepest tissues of the body. Deposits that no doctor ever dreamed existed and that no other method of healing has ever discovered or can remove. People are still surprised when they do just a relatively short-term fast, or even like 10-day or 5, whatever. It's all relative. Like length is relative. That's why it's not a big deal. Like really, length of fast is not a big deal. The process is a big deal. The way that you broke the fast is a big deal. What you ate the next week to 2 weeks after the fast is the biggest deal. The actual length, that it's gonna do what it's gonna do. It's gonna be long. Sometimes it's gonna be shorter. It depends on what your body's going through. But people are continually surprised that like days and days into fast, they do an enema and here comes slime. Strings of slime just start coming out. And they're like, what is going on? This is right what he's talking about here. And I've experienced this time and time again through such intermittent fast. This is why that intense type of all or nothing, I'm do this long fast and just keep grinding it. That's why you need the contraction and the release. You need that. That's what this provides, this methodology. You get the tension and release, which allows the body to squeeze some stuff out, release, squeeze it out, release, instead of just squeeze, die. Or squeeze, back to McDonald's, like whatever happens. And so, but this point, the fast of the blood is gradually improved, regenerated, can more easily tolerate the poisons and waste, and eliminate disease deposits from the deepest tissues of the body. That's everything right there, because you can't get to that without going through this process. There is no fast track and let me try to skip over the transition and just if I just do a 40-day water fast, that'll deal with all this. No, it won't. No, it won't. And so that was something that I really felt like, okay, I'm gonna start really getting on this. I was kind of directed to what should my focus be now. And with so many people needing to learn the art of fasting, and with there being such an interest in it, because there is an interest, a lot of people are interested in fasting, but I don't see a whole lot of people still really treating it with the level of respect that it needs, the treating it like as it's an art form, as opposed to, I don't know what, people just are just haphazard with it. Just like, I'm fast and I'm gonna do this and then, oh, Brother Air did that, let me do it. And it's like, man, this has to be methodical, really calm throughout it. Like, it's an art form. It's definitely an art form. So it's something that I want to definitely discuss in the coming year, or that'll be the theme for this year. Because we've focused on transition diet, which we will continue to do for a while. But I think the understanding how the transition diet melds with with fasting, with proper fasting process, is very, very important. So yeah, welcome everybody, and let's see who's up in the chat. What's going on, Alphine, Lynette? What's going on? Jody, how you doing? Catherine, what's going on? Carlo, what's happening? Mr. Carlo, Dion, what's going on? So, all right. So without further ado, let's bring on our guests. So today we have Andrea Monroy and Q Ortiz, who's going to talk about the Callum Thomas Farm Sanctuary. And let's go ahead and bring them on here. Let's do there we go. Hey, what is going on, Andrea and Q?
Hello. What's going on? What's happening? Yeah. Congratulations on your 21-day fast.
Thank you, man. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah. So and congratulations on your journey, your fun trip. You guys just got done with 2 weeks of traveling?
Yeah.
Yeah, doing your thing. That is great. So so tell me a little bit about the animal sanctuary. How did you kind of, well, I guess first kind of, well, introduce yourself a little bit and mention, you know, kind of when you started practicing the Mucusless diet, do your little Mucusless diet bio, and then introduce everybody the Mucusless diet bio. You know, everybody's got one, and then share the you know, just where this farm sanctuary came from, like how that came about.
All right. Okay. Yeah, my practice started like almost 7 years ago.
Nice.
It's like, wow. But that is what I love about the system, that you go in your pace and it's like safe, you know. It's like I'm going and improve a lot. I was eating cheese in the beginning. So my first goal was to stop cheese, and it has to do also how I was like, no, it was no sense that I start like, I love animals, but I continually start like eat cheese. And here I was watching how the cows were abused, because I live in a dairy farms area. Here is called the capital of cheese and milk and dairy products. This is the capital. So I see the whole time cows and abuse of them. So I was like, how I'm going to stop eating cheese? You know, I thought that I wasn't able to do that. Like when I start being vegetarian, I thought that I will stop everything but no cheese, because I used to eat like a block of cheese, you know, in a day. So when I was a vegetarian, I started being like overweight and certain issues too, because I was vegetarian, but I was eating starch foods like beans, rice, tortillas, fried plantain, cheese, a lot of cheese, everything with cheese, and every day Swiss cheese sandwich and all kind of thing. But at the same time, I was watching how my neighbors' cows were taking their calf away, and how the moms were crying, and how the cows were crying too. So I was like, oh no, I am supporting this. And so I was having issues with my health. I was like autoimmune disease. Like I was like in that line that they said, the doctor said that, and I was like, no, I don't want to die. My sister-in-law was killed at the hospital with corticoids and all that. And I was discovering the same, like I was diagnosed by the same sickness. So I was like, no, I don't want to end like her. She died at 29 years old. And I was like, no, I don't want to be like that. So I have a friend who introduced me to the Mucusless Diet Healing System. She was living in my house, and she showed me your works, Professor Spira works, some Brother A interviews. So I started being in that track, and I was feeling so good in the beginning, short fasting. Also, I was watching other works from herbalist in Granada Island, and he was mentioned this mucusless diet too. So yes, I was feeling better. I reduced like 16 kilograms. That is around 35 pounds. I lost 35 pounds in that process starting, you know. After 1 year, I stopped completely the cheese, and I am so happy for that step, because I don't crave cheese. I see cheese and no. So yeah, that is how I start in that. What the other question was about how I end in this sanctuary. Well, my love for animals make it all. Like I stopped the things, my health, of course, and yeah, my love for animals. I grew up here in this area, and I always was in touch with, like, animals were my best friends my whole life. So that is how I came into this mission. It was like that. I'm complete.
Yeah.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
I know we touched base before, so I'll keep it just more. Yeah, like just from the beginning, my dad was a vegetarian, so he sort of exposed me to that life, like just seeing that was a possibility, and then over time, I still ate meat for sure when I was younger, eating animals, but I try to make some limits, like not eat beef and pork and just try to limit myself. But fast forward, it was like getting on track and field. There was a trainer who was expressing like not to drink soda and not to drink coffee and all these kind of unhealthy beverages. So once I got that in my mind, like thinking about more health, I stopped drinking soda, stopped drinking coffee, even though I wasn't a huge coffee drinker. Then I ended up coming to California, and I was practicing Qi Gong at that time, just getting more aware of myself, into my body, meditating, doing like body scans. And over time, I would notice how the food would react with me. So when I would eat, say like with animal products, for instance, just like meat, I noticed when I would bite into it, I could feel just like that aggression, just like a beast. I felt animalistic when I would eat the meat like that. So from that awareness, I started to just like slowly step back on purchasing it. I wouldn't cook it at my house at all. I mentioned before, I had this thing where I would only accept it if people were offering it to me. So I'll go to their house and they made this chicken, whatever, or something like that. Then I'll show respect and eat that. But then I had that realization of, like, this is the same thing. It's sort of a different energy, but I'm still consuming these animals. And yeah, I had to cut that out. Actually, the cheese, that was first. It was like multiple reasons, and that's sort of how we connected, like on the cheese thing. Like one was like like being a singer, right? Like noticing, because I was so focused on my breathing, like conscious breathing, trying to focus on my breathing all day, wanting it to be smooth. Whether I need to stretch to open it, right? Just like everything focused on the breath. And I noticed when I would eat cheese, my nose would clog up automatically. So when it came to singing, I had in my mind, like, I take the singing seriously, and I want to be at the highest just capability, right? And if I'm eating the cheese and I'm clogging up the pathway, like that resonance pathway, then it's messing with my progression in me trying to be a better singer. So that was already just like, yeah, I got to cut it out, because it's not serving me just moving forward. And then the other portion was starting to become more aware. I mentioned I watched the documentary Earthlings, and that completely was changing my perception about eating animals and the products. But yeah, just picturing like that pus, like just picturing the calf, like the mom having to get pregnant, and then
they jamming their hand in, and
I was part of that. Yeah.
So it's like over time, it was a wrap. Like getting all this imagery, all these impressions placed on me just from consuming the cheese and the meat, and then even the eggs. I ate a bunch of eggs and was just like, I could just feel this nastiness in my body, and again that aggression, like just feeling the stimulation and not needing it anymore. So just over time, I deepened into the Qigong, got into the Kung Fu, and with Chan Family Qi Gong and Kung Fu. There was a practitioner there. A brother was practicing the Mucusless Diet Healing System. He had gone through Dr. Morse's information and studied with him, and he was healed from his protocols. He got ran over by a truck, so he couldn't walk at some point, and he got into the regeneration, right? Just focusing on mucus-free, like keeping it. I believe he was more on the grapes, like doing grape fasting and getting into that boat. And he was able to walk. I met him doing Kung Fu. You know, I saw him later on. Right. So I was interested in increasing my vitality, working on all these different projects with the music, art, just doing shows, massage, and wanting to have that energy so I could always be present in all these things that I'm doing. So speaking with him, we started vibing, bouncing, just, you know, that openness when if you into the mucusless diet or you open to it, it's just flowing. So we sitting there for hours just talking about the nuances of not eating beans, or how would orange juice be, or so I got into that. He showed me your work. Professor Spira showed me Brother Air. I mentioned the 9.5 month fast speech that you controlled him. Yup, that was just jump off point. And then I just kept tuning in and watching all the Q&As and keeping it going. All the funny videos you make, like the joke, the humor, kind of meme videos. And getting more into the consciousness.
Yes, that's what's up. So what's so to take us through this? What's this? Is this your old like slaughterhouse day? Oh, I see you got your arm in the back end.
That was my last time I did that. Like after I finished my veterinarian school, and I didn't send one word, right? It was like, no, this is like too horrible. Like my face,
your face, like I can see
here,
your expression.
I was happy.
You're definitely done. You're like, you know what? I'm done.
Yes, for real. Like for real, I was done with that. It was the last practice, like the last days that I was studying. After my studies, after my college, I went to
you studied was that like veterinary school?
Yeah, after that I specialized in reproduction, bobbing reproduction and embryo transfer. So this was the last practice where I was with my hand inside the cow, and it is like a needle that you need to cross to the womb in order to put the embryo. So we were practicing that, and I put the needle and across the womb, you know, I went straight, and it was like my tears came, you know, I was like, why I'm doing? I didn't born in this life to do this kind of works, you know, like I was like, I am doing exploitation, you know, what in my life I am doing right now, why I am doing this. And that was the last practice, and I just left, you know. I went to the practice, complete the practice, but when I came back, I talked with the director of the program, and I say, I cannot, like, I finished, but I say, I don't want to work in this. So she knew that I was always different from my colleagues, and she accepted me, and I am to work with all that I learned about reproduction. Then I went to the researching Unity International Research Unity group about an animal that was in danger. And then I started changing my whole life, you know. It was a very big broke and around, you know, around my life, because my family expect that I continue working with cows, you know. They expect that I get, because that reproduction, genetics and all that in cows, it produce a lot of money. But I was like, money is not making me happy, you know. This is not making me happy. And see this picture in the slaughterhouse. It was even before that happened.
This was before you could still have a smile on your face for a little bit. This one, before they got you totally where you're done. You're trying to fit. I see you trying to fit in. You know, you're trying to like yay. Yes.
It was like, for colleagues, for veterinarians, it's like that, you know. Oh, you get the cow, you know, like, you are like,
go hug the dead cow. Like,
animals are like only to produce, like, you know. After this practice, my colleagues, all of them went to eat meat, like, oh, this is fresh meat. So they went to eat pus and mucus, and I was like, I don't want to eat meat, you know. And I stopped eating meat because it was disgusting. I didn't send you the pictures, but it was like, we found in the slaughterhouse like worms in the livers. Like,
those are, well, send me those. Send me those pictures. Those are the good.
We found pus, you know, pus in the muscles, in every organ. And I was like, wow, this is what we eat, you know, because this is meat for human beings. Imagine like that, the rest. Imagine the jam, or that is the leftovers. That is the nice part of the cow.
Right.
And if you see, like, there is some videos where you can see the side of the sufferation of the cows, you know, like, I think I shared it with you on Facebook, on the Facebook thing, but it's like, you see the pain of the cows, you see the pain of the animals, and you were like, how in that moment it caused me like a shock. And then like, I was eating again, you know, go back after like 1 week. Okay, I go and eat again. I was watching the most horrible things, and I was like, I stopped eating bread in that time, because how they make the bread, like, mice go on the starch, mice go in the bakery store. I was watching how they do the cheese. I was watching all kind of horrible things, like, see that. And there is another previous video where the man is only disconnecting him, but you can see how they still be alive, you know. So they take the skin out. That one. Then the next one of that video is like, when they taking the skin, when they are still alive. In this moment, they are going to show the neck, you know, and then to the river of blood. So I was impacted by that, you know. But then, like, I didn't have memory, you know. Like, after that, I was like, oh, that is sad. And to see the eyes of them, you see, they are frightened.
Yeah.
They are no good at all. They are making a line, you know, before that. They are traveling hours and hours in the truck, you know, and they have been electricity for them in order to move.
Right.
And then they end to be like in that, you know, and how all this sufferation, we are eating all this sufferation, you know, how good it could be to eat this kind of energy, you know, all that.
Yeah. Well, suffering. Yeah, like all this suffering,
you know?
the anxiety. It's sick and pathetic. I mean, we all come from it, but once you wake up to the barbarity of this, the karma of it, the cause and effect, because you can believe in this as much as you want, and you can go back to it, all you former raw foodists and fruitarians that thought you were real hardcore, and then now you're back to eating meat again. You know, well, it would have did good to read the transition diet lessons, but you can go right on back to the stimulation. You know, but it's just it's pure. It's just pure degeneration, degeneration of the human from head to toe. And we people got to understand there's not going to be any kind of peaceful society and love and caring and kindness for all as long as humans are eating dead animal flesh, because that's not for us. And people say, well, it's, you know, this and that. If you want to be a big bad carnivore, and like I say, jump on the back of an animal in the woods and tear your canine teeth into its neck and eat it. If you're such a carnivore, you know, Mr. Carnivore.
Actually, the babies, you know, you see the babies, the animal babies.
Yeah, you can't even get the babies, right?
The baby cat, the kittens. You put an animal and they start like wanted to play because is how they chase. A baby of human being is not at all like is my friend, you know, as I did when I was a baby. They were really my friends, and I observed how my family were killing them in the front yard. They were killing the cow, they were killing sheep, they were killing goats, pork, every kind of animals they were killing. And I was seeing that, and I always was crying. And my father would take like the whole day to chase a chicken, and then I was like, free them, and then I am going to have problems with him because how to do that, you know. But I was like, no, I don't want to eat the chicken, you know. I don't want, like, naturally, you know, naturally they were my friends, they were not my prey, you know. And actually the video that you were showing about the chickens with like the eggs factory, I was telling you today, because we were making holes to make a construction. So all the chickens were like digging into the soil. And I say to you, can you imagine in those cages their whole life, you know, their whole life, when they don't have even soil to dig, they cannot move. They are 5 in a cage this size. They are their whole life, they are like that. Only eating and producing eggs. Eating and producing eggs. It's an eggs factory. Like the machine do the whole thing. They move the egg, you know, and the people doesn't have to do anything. That is the price of the egg is so cheap, because they are like producing and producing, you know. And here the woman was explaining us like how it works, and we were so excited to know how it goes, and wow. But now, yes, it's like, and it counts the whole time, you know. It was like in my brain, you know, the whole time, I am in the right place, you know. I was always making the question like, I am doing good, you know, but I wanted to help them. So imagine, you know, I want to help them, but I am supporting the people who produce money from them. So it's so crazy how different they behave from that cage, how in the natural life.
Right.
Yes, I passed from that.
Yes, you went from that.
That is. Yes, the opposite. Imagine like how was for everybody is like you got crazy, you know, you are totally crazy.
Right. Yeah, like you're the crazy one because you want to try to create a sanctuary for animals. You even have a little funeral.
I do the whole thing, like the whole treatments for them. Like right now, we have a chicken that I have treated her like 2 months right now. Like she wasn't able to move in the beginning. Now she's like walking little by little, but they are like the same for me now. You know, a cat, a dog, a chicken, a cow, a sheep, whatever animal, they are the same for me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, that's like having funerals for the animals.
Yeah.
It's a long way from killing them and eating them. And so these are all pictures from, and I invite everybody to check out the Callum Thomas Farm Sanctuary Facebook page here. And we got let's see, was that the logo?
Yeah, actually that logo comes from a picture from the I am with the cow and a friend painted us.
Yeah.
That was my cow, like wow, like my first like contact with a real, like a free cow, you know, like they are crazy normally. They are happy animals all the time. She was coming inside the house, eating the food, like eating the plants, like she was a mess, you know. She was just too crazy. I couldn't believe that cows normally in the farms they are like going in a line, you know. Oh, it's a milking time, so they go in a line and they get milk and they go after, you know, like they are like machines the whole time. But when you see them how normally they are, like they are just so great animals, you know. They speak to you, you know. All animals speak to you. Like everyone is different. Everyone has a character. Everyone has like, there is some that they don't like to be in group. There are some that they like to be with others. They are cats that only like one cat or like dogs. You know, this is the picture of like a friend made that art. Anaya is like a fabulous artist. And she painted with my cow. Like that cow was my baby, you know. And she was growing so much. And everyone, the neighbors were like, how much is that cow? Like it's a beautiful cow, you know, because she was
how
like,
much?
So big. I was like, no. When she died already. Unfortunately, it was like, I almost died too, you know. I was like weeks, like I couldn't recover from that. And everyone was like, sell it. Like when she was dead, like the easiest way is to sell it to the slaughterhouse, you know. And I was like, I'm not going to sell my cow, you know, I'm going to bury her. I don't know if I'm going to take like, because imagine to make a hole for a cow. Like, so hard. Then I made it, you know. I booty her and I play the music. Like it's my family, you know. It's my family.
And when you asked about how much, because everyone around here is a farmer, basically. Everyone's milking cows. They eating cows, and so when they seeing this beautiful specimen,
they're like, that's all they're thinking about.
Just like
actually the story of Nigilito that happened. That rooster that you seen there, I like was stole by my neighbor. They killed him and ate him. You know, imagine like I was like on shock. I couldn't like I still crying for that. You know, I still like like feel that anger against my neighbors. Like he was just passing by, and then I asked them, have you seen my rooster? Because he went to see his chickens, you know, he has French chickens. Right. He was like just there, and he didn't back one night, and I was like, I cannot find Nayelito, you know, I don't know where he is. And I was at night looking around, you know, I was like with my lantern, like 10 p.m. looking. I was like, I cannot find him. Next day, I asked a woman and I say, have you seen a rooster, these characteristics? Because I saw some feathers over there next to your house. And she said, no, that is from a hen. And I was like, okay, I didn't pay attention. Then I was like, hold on. I went back and saw the feathers, and the feathers were I know exactly how each of my animals are, you know. And I was like, these are the feathers of my rooster, you know, like, oh, wow. How they can do this, you know, like, wow. Like, I was like, no. And Nayelito was the first chicken that born here. Because the first chickens that I had from exploitation, they are supposed to don't have babies, you know, they are like no able, but she could do it, the first chicken. Nayelito was the first rooster that born, so I always create a big relationship with him. You know, he allowed me to be close, to pet him, you know, and he was like he was my yes, he was that
like what is that called?
I don't know.
That hangs from the bottom of the rooster.
Yeah.
He'll let.
He was like,
Andrea just like rub on that.
And I was talking to him, you know, he was for real, my friend. I was talking to him when I feel sad. I speak with them, and he was like always cheering me up. You know, he was so very special rooster. No, it's in another picture. The one that I am kissing was him. Like that one that I was kissing before, it was that like in honor, Nayelito, in honor to my one of my best brothers. His name is Nigel Daddy, and yes, so this was the rooster, you know, and this was days before, you know. I was like watching him, and I say, Nayelito, you are so beautiful, you know, like.
And just and to translate this for some of the, you know, transitioning folks that still eat a little pus or something. I mean, this is equivalent of, for in our world, this is like this is a family member and a next door neighbor kidnaps the family member, kills them, and eats them.
Exactly.
That's what this is.
Exactly. You know? That's it.
Yeah,
I was feeling like, what can I do? You know, I'm going to the police and tell them like,
right.
They still my son, my friend or brother. They are going to say, this woman, like, we are not going to waste our time in that kind of business. You know, I couldn't do anything. I was like, I wish they could be treated like, if you do that, if you kill the animal or from somebody else or for some animal, that will be the same to kill a person, you know. I wish that is the law here, you know. But
well, that's old school, you know. That's an eye for an eye, you know. They chop off the hand, like, you know. There's the Hammurabi type of, you know, vibe, like, you know, it's.
Yeah, it was like a nightmare for me. I wish I could wake up and that wasn't true, you know. I was like, for days, like, I still like, I say to Q, I feel like, woof, that hole, you know, when sometimes when I'm going to feed them and he's not there, I am like.
Was this recent?
Huh?
Did this happen recently?
Yeah, that
February.
happened like 2 months ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're talking about the story that Andrea's talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
definitely that. Yeah,
Yeah,
before I got here, exactly.
2 months
And so,
ago.
in case anybody missed it, so you guys are in Colombia, and that's where Andrea's from, and so that's where the farm sanctuary is at.
Yeah, Cundinamarca.
Guachetá. Guachetá. These are the owners. The owners before of this sheep were the ones that killed my chicken. So they were going to kill Vicente and Janet. They are the names of them. They were going to kill them on December. I am like the opposite. For me, December is like the worst month in the year. Like this, like Christmas or New Year's Eve for me is like to be here protecting all the dogs because they get crazy by the fireworks. Here is crazy. The fireworks here is crazy. So for me is like that, and then is when I am fasting on December because to create that balance when people is like just crazy. They raise animals the whole year to be killed on that time. So they were going to be killed, and I was like, no, I have to get them. I have to get Janet. I have to get Vicente, and I got them. Now they are here. They are so huge now. Vicente, that sheep that is in the picture now is like, like everyone is the neighbors again. Like. Ooh, how much is that? And I am like,
they keep wanting to buy. Yeah, they keep wanting to buy her.
Look at them.
So how do you usually acquire your animals? Do people know that you have the sanctuary and they donate them, or they find like a stray dog on the street and drive it up, or how do you get the different animals that you have?
Well, it has been different stories. Like the dog situation in this area is like there is a bunch of homeless dogs the whole time. People abandon. Countryside people is very cruel with animals. With dogs, for example, dogs are only a thing like an alarm, like only to bark. They don't feed them. In the countryside, they are no pets at all. They only like, so they are not going to spend money to spay them. They are not going to
Are there any dogs in the woods there that live on their own?
One of the dogs, she was already in the wood, like surviving in the woods. Actually, she was like chasing bugs, like spiders. How would you call? It's called like the cockroach, but
like beetles.
Beetles, yeah. She was chasing like moths, all kind of.
Because I was that first time I saw like packs of dogs that literally just live in the woods was in Puerto Rico. And they're super chill. Like they're just like if you're walking by them, they're just like walking by a squirrel or something. They're just there. They don't mess with you. They don't bark at you. But they're like packs of them, and they just run around in the woods, But I know that they had to just develop that, and that a lot of dogs can't survive. If they're not brought up and taught how to survive by other pack, like in a pack, they probably can't. It's hard for them to just live like that without humans.
And imagine the problem that this is for the wildlife. Like let's go to the past. Like imagine how, like, I love animals, but for me, I wish that farm animals don't exist. Because it's like a lot of work. Like they cannot survive without you. And that is where the problem starts. Now that human being create this problem, now it's like, okay, we need to help. Now that the problem is done, now we have to help. But animals, now that we came from a natural park, animals are, I say to you, animals are just so happy where they are, you know. They are like sharing with their families. They are like taking their food, like the mangoes,
the trees, just
the
fresh off the
avocados, and they are chilling. They are happy animals. Then we create this, domesticate them, and now it's like a bunch of them, of dogs in the streets here. They get in heat, so the females like get like, that is my work. Like when I see a female in heat, I am like, I have to take her, you know, I have to take her to Dawn Babies, make a surgery, and find a home. You know, mostly the home is here. Like mostly I don't like, because when they are adults, it's so hard to find a home. You know, the few people who help them already have a lot of dogs, and they are like, no, I cannot have no more. So what I do is like make surgery so they don't reproduce more and have more puppies around, like, and create more problems, you know, and like a lot of sicknesses, a lot of like, a lot of problems around here. They don't.
Here's the dog picture.
So when Andrea's mentioning that she's doing these different surgeries, that's like, she's the veterinarian, like head veterinarian here at Callum Thomas Farm Sanctuary. So that's like just one sector of those services towards reducing that cycle of just like the litter of puppies just had on the street, just down the street, and now it's like 10 of them.
You're delivering all the babies.
Yeah,
well, she'll spay. Like that's what she's saying. If she, like, I was with her the last time I was here. We actually the video on the Callum Thomas Farm Sanctuary YouTube.
Yeah, which one is? I know I saw a video of her doing surgery or something.
Let me see. Yeah, that third one.
The third.
Right there, at the top. At the top. Yeah, right there. Exactly. Third. No, next one.
Not third.
That is the chicken that I still. So that dog was on the street.
He was what?
She was on the street in heat.
Oh, okay.
Dogs were on her already.
One dog was attached to her.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You had to separate the dogs.
No. I had to wait until.
And while we watch this, I'm gonna put the encourage everybody to donate to the Callum Thomas Farm Sanctuary. It's a nonprofit organization. This is the work that's being done here to protect these animals, save these animals, you know, give them a home while humanity transitions into higher levels of consciousness, so that we stop this madness. We close down these insane slaughterhouses, and we stop eating our friends, you know, our underdeveloped humans.
Exactly. Like, for me, sometimes they are more developed than some humans.
Yeah. I mean, they're more peaceful oftentimes. Like,
you know, they are just like, they are love, you know, they always like pure love, you know, they are very the whole time. You know, like because seeing what I see is animals seem like the domesticated pets, a lot of it, they'll kind of exude the vibe of their owner. And so that's where you get these mean, nasty dogs. And it's like, well, they got mean, nasty owners, you know, that teach them how to do that. Like, you know, and so when I see, like, to teach them to be humans, you know, like that is other thing that I promote with the owners of the animals, is to let them to be dogs, you know, the dog is happy to be a dog. They are not happy with clothes, you know, they are not. They need to be with a pack. When I observed them, I was like, wow, I had, before I start all this transition, I had a dog. And I had her in an apartment in the city. And then when I have been with these animals, how they create their path, you know, how they create the boundaries, how the old one is respected, how like I let them be, you know, I let them be. And that is one of the things that is still being cruelty, you know, like when you treat them like a human beings, put them shoes and all that, and then they get sick too, you know, a lot of animals
because people
natural.
People just feed them like they just think it's cute, feeding them what they eat, you know, like, oh, the dog likes the Big Mac and the chicken McNugget, you know, it's like, and then they wonder why the animal is constipated and it starts getting cancers and cold, you know, and like, it's like, yeah, it's gonna get the same diseases that you gonna get.
Exactly that, you know, like before our grandparents and that, they were giving another kind of like whatever, and they were not having cancer. Nowadays, the rate of cancer in dogs and cats is like, for me as a veterinarian, is like all the time dealing with that, and each time it breaks my heart. The story of this horse, they were slaves in Bogota, in the city, because in the cities in Colombia, some cities, fortunately, like most of the cities now are not doing that. They were for like homeless recycles.
Yeah, so like when you see people on the street recycling cans and that thing, it's them in Colombia and different cities using the horses to carry their loads.
The so-called beast of burden concept, you know, where they just got the animals carrying everything.
Imagine a horse in the city. Imagine a horse in the city, like, wow, that they have a lot of traumas. This horse actually almost killed you, but they got a lot of traumas from that, you know, like when you get close, they are so much better nowadays, of course, because they are free, they run. I never like they are on the field, whatever, eating grass, but they were in the street the whole day, sometimes long time on the day, and they were so skinny. When I rescued them, they were like on their ribs, and this horse was like not letting any other horse to get close, because I imagine she was having babies every year, you know, like the whole time. So she was like afraid of other horses, afraid of human beings. And this was the first born in freedom, you know, this Itaca. Nowadays, she's wild. She never was trained. She was like, she's wild, but she come to me to eat carrots or something like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wow. She's 7 years old and she's like the baby of her mom still.
Wow.
And that was where you brought up a picture where we were together with horses, and those were the horses that.
The horses.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The baby, that one that
on the right, like you.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So I wasn't used to even coming close to animals like this.
Right.
Like being from New York City, I think I might have touched in, you know, with a horse where they're like, get on the horse and
well, that zoo,
you know, But to
go to the circus and they got elephants walking by and doing the camel. I remember riding the camel when I was young.
Exactly.
At the zoo, you know, the camel and the horse and that kind of stuff. And I know.
Now he's a cowboy.
Now he's a cowboy.
Now he hold them like very firm, like that is when almost that horse, her mom was afraid, and she was like jumping on the fence, and Q was still holding her, and I was like, "What you doing?"
Hold on, because we entered this field basically to, and thank you, Fruit Juice. Good looking out, sending a donation.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So yeah, we going in the field to deworm. Basically, we're deworming the horses because you don't want them sick.
Right.
And of course, Andrea, the care for the animals is always 110. So we going in there, but she's pulling me along, right? Like I'm like separate, no experience with horses, like especially medical. Like this first time when you see us hugging the horses, that was also my first time. So I was like, you know, trying to get a feel and really tune into nature. So I'm calm and I'm able to like
really like you're kind of
to just like connect with these animals and just like feel that part of myself. And so then this time she's coming in here with this dewormer and they are sensing it, right? Like she's come, we have these carrots and we have the dewormer, and then she's feeding the carrot and then trying to deworm the horse because it's a oral sort of treatment, right? So you can it's like, all right, here's a carrot, boom, oral treatment. They once they get a whiff of that, they already like, oh no, like just,
no more.
Like
they don't trust you anymore, you know. They in that moment they hate you. They are no, thank you, like no. So they go away.
So we fast forward and Andrea was able to capture 2 of them. Boom, like with the dewormer, got the right dosage. Then we go to the mom here, and she's calling me a cowboy, but this woman right here, she has the rope forming a lasso and then caught the other horse. So she like caught
just...
exactly.
Wow, boy, y'all got to get some of that on camera. That'll go viral. You can get all kinds of, you know, bring all kinds of attention with that, you know.
Yeah,
that's
so
cool.
And I'm surprised, but not surprised because Andrea is living in the country, right? Like, so she has to know everything because you need to survive. You're in a place where there's not a lot around you. There's resources, but you have to know how to use the resources in order to flourish. So back to this story that she catches this horse and then like sort of wraps the horse close to a tree, right, to do the treatment. And she goes, "Hey, Q." So I'm going over there. I'm with the basket of carrots. I go over there. I'm by the tree. She's like, hold this rope, right? So the rope is attached to the horse. Like, hold the rope. I go, okay. So I'm just listening. Hold the rope, right? Like, hold it. So like, I'm just holding it.
Yeah.
Then this horse
got nervous.
Got nervous, scared, did the whole like the whining, and then she's like up here, like and I'm like, I'm holding the rope.
When I was like, how to speak in Spanish, you know?
Yeah.
To English, sorry.
Andrea's trying to say "let go" in English, but like, it was like it was too quick. Like,
that I was like, "Are you okay?" You know, like I was like, no. Now I have seen a lot of accidents with horses. One day I saw a colleague that the horse like did that exactly that and cut his face, like the whole thing, like crack, like the whole thing. So I was like you now don't have like I have seen also people like when they pull with the rope and no fingers and things like that, and I was like,
"Are you okay?" No. But yeah, I had a little like there was a little scratch and some swelling. Yeah,
that's like a scene out of out of National Lampoons or something.
Man, I felt like that. I felt like
yeah.
It's like these kind of
a funny movie.
Oh,
Yeah. I definitely felt just being out there, because for me, it's not like I had the natural sense of just like, oh, okay,
right.
Let me walk over here, or like, oh, I'll hold
the
this.
Behavior of them.
Especially if Andrea's like, oh yeah, stand there to sort of like block that horse off. I'm still like, I don't know if I want to be in the way of the horse, you know, like
right,
like that. So, yeah. So it's the whole time just trying to be calm. The whole time, like every time, like, all right, nah, just I'm cool. We cool. Yeah, it's nothing.
With them, when you share a lot of time with them, you learn their language, you know, like know how they move their ears. If they are uncomfortable, they telling you like, hey, don't get close, you know, don't do that, or things like that. That language is, you gotta know that. So for me, it's like sometimes I assume, you know, like you know that if the horse, he's going to be let her go, but no. But yes, fortunately everything went well. yeah,
we were good, and I was moving too. Like it wasn't like I just stood there, just holding it and the horse hopping on me. It's like I moved. And then was like, all right, she's like, let go. Like, all right. I'm not dealing with that. Definitely.
Yeah. This cow was like in my grandmother's farm, and when they don't work no more, they are not having no more babies, and they are no getting pregnant again. So they go to the slaughterhouse. So in order to do that, they make like a fast before. So she was just there like 24 hours, then to go to the slaughterhouse, to be empty stomach then.
So she's about to go, or you got her before
she's about to go to the slaughterhouse, and I feel so like I wish I could like save them all, you know, like I am like I feel like we are in debt, you know, with these animals, you know, like how we make the balance, because we cannot save the millions that die daily or are exploited daily, but at least I can say one, you know, and say like, okay, yeah, you know, I am giving love, and you are treating like a live being, you know, a live being, not like a thing and an object.
Yeah, like I saw this. I mean, when you get into the factory, probably don't have this in Colombia. This looks like some US type of type of, like each one of those is a little, you know, some cows down in there.
When I went to United States, I was 1 year living there. When I saw like no grass, like they were only millions together and any grass, I was like, this is the hell, you know.
And like no grass. I mean, it's not no grass, and it's just
nothing green.
They're in these little tents, and you know, and I know the runoff, the toxic waste runoff it gets, you know, that this type of place produces is out of this world.
And you seeing where the grass is in the photo.
Yeah, like on the outskirts.
It's like around.
Because it's not like any of them are eating grass. Whatever, you know, whatever they're giving them these days. I know for a while they were giving them infusions of, well, like even other cow, they would give them feed.
Yeah, actually, when I went there, I was like getting the information, like the people who go to jail, the workers that they go in the fields, they don't pay like 20 cents for them to work in the fields of corn, the corn fields that go for the cows. You know? Like, so that is the price of the milk in United States. Is so cheap, the milk, you know, because you have a million of cows. So that is why they feed the schools of the children with milk because that is so cheap. That is you're importing also slavery from the jails. You know, the workers go there for almost free for them. You know, that is the business of jail. I don't know if we're going to disclose this YouTube thing to talk about this, but
yeah, I mean, that's the real, you know, that's what, you know, nobody talks about, or you know, people don't really understand. Like, there's a reason why there's so much pain and suffering and turmoil on this planet, and what we've done. And it's been throughout history, you know, where different societies, they will kind of create classes of people that are sheltered from all of this. Like, they're sheltered from the truth. They're very, you know, they're the kind of people that come and they'll try to do something negative on the video, you know, this is, you know, it's like, if it's not, you know, a Kim Kardashian type of thing, they, you know, or some pop thing, they don't want to hear about it. Yeah, it's like, you know, this stuff is I mean, this is the real reality. This is the real, you know, the Matrix, cave, whatever metaphor you want to use. This is like, you know, we've created a hell on earth that's 100% unnecessary. There's no when you think about the amount of programming and conditioning that had to go into normalizing the drinking of homogenized cow pus, like I mean, that took generations to get to the point where now people think it's normal to go to a store and get this gallon of this white glue, like it's healthy, like it's something that's going to help you out in your life and not create excess mucus and in the osteoporosis and whatever, you know, the long list of ailments and the skin problems and so on and so forth, that all the dairy stuff does. And it's just little hells on earth. And I, you know, I'm trying not to play, because, you know, me, you get me revved up, I start playing all kinds of slaughterhouse videos and stuff, but I'm trying to not play them as much, because I'm trying to be good while I'm on probation, on my YouTube probation. And so
when I was uploading those videos in the slaughterhouse, I was like, wow, I don't know. So they are private links, but I was like, I don't know if they are going to let me to upload that, you know.
Well, unless I mean, they will. It's just now they might, hopefully they haven't seen too much on this where they try to do something to this episode. And I found that if I don't show a lot of it and I just kind of show.
But there is another one where they go, like, after they disconnect them, like here, that they are still like.
Other than this one.
Okay, I didn't get that one.
Yeah.
But,
let me check. But yes, they are like,
it's brutal. But you already know.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah. I mean,
that is for all people, other people also.
This is just, what was that?
Like, also for other people to see the reality, because actually what made me to be vegetarian at first, it was like to see this kind of videos, you know, of like, okay, I have been in there, but also like people speaking about it, like, no, and that message, you know, to do the opposite that they do, that they normalize that, oh yes, the happy hen, you know, they make the eggs, the happy hen and things like that, the happy chicken, or like that. Like, I am like, what animal in the world want to die? You know, like even if you are having, they are in the field, you know, like grazing in the grass and all that. But what being naturally want to die? No any being alive want to die, you know. Like, all of them want to survive. All animals and we should do that too, want to survive. You know, we want to naturally, our instinct is not to die. Like they even look to reproduce. So when I have seen these videos of vegan people or like fighting for animal rights, that was like, yes, I have to really do the work. You know, I have to really stop doing this. And I give thanks to the Mucusless Diet Healing System to help me to stop those cravings, you know, to naturally stop eating them and not wanting to eat them again. Because I know a lot of people who are like, I love animals, but for real, I cannot stop eating meat, you know, and this system allow you to naturally stop, you know, like suddenly you are like not craving cheese, not craving certain foods, you know, and meat on that. That is how I promote with people. I say, yes, you can do it. If I could do with the cheese, believe me, you can do whatever. Because after my mom was working selling dairy products like arequipe, I don't know, sweet milk.
Yeah, sweet milk and what else?
Yogurt, cheese. Like my mom knows to do all kind of things. You know, of dairy products.
Outside.
Yeah.
Let me see. I know Carlo mentioned like letting you know how your donations could help to encourage others. Yeah, exactly. So all these animals, they need food, right? So they eat every day. Also, collars. Andrea mentioned the construction that we're doing with the chickens and the sheep, having a roof, just when it's raining, putting the feeders under there, the fencing. What else with the
medicines, medicine, sometimes treatment. For example, the chicken that right now I'm treating, I use homeopathy for her. Like she got a sickness that
it's a virus.
The regular doctors say, like, I learned in the university, if they get this, you have to kill it, because it's like they are going to spread it everywhere, and they are going to kill the other chickens, and they are going to paralyze all of them. So when she started being that, I start doing homeopathic treatment for her, therapy, everything. And she has been on treatment like almost 2 months now, like every day drops on her, like making her movement. And nowadays she's eating more. She's like making steps. No one else has been sick. You know, I put like to prevent sicknesses, I put things in the water, like garlic, lemon, some drops for the calcium, because they already are not natural, you know, so they are not going to be natural in their sicknesses. So you gotta help them in their treatment, because they have been domesticated. Maybe in the natural life, they are going to eat some kind of herbs, you know, they are going to deworm naturally and things like that. But here, for example, the chickens are modified in order to produce eggs daily. You know, when they naturally have only 30 eggs in the year. So they demand more calcium to make the shell of the egg every day. So they start taking it from the bones, and they fall down, they get sicknesses. Chickens don't last, like those kind of chickens modified to lay every day with eggs, they last 2 or 3 years, no more, maybe less. And so in order to do that, I give them homeopathic calcium on the water, so on other kind of supplies to regulate that already are like, mess up, you know, with their bodies. They are not natural. They are full of tumors sometimes. sometimes I have one of the chickens that the video is there. She was spayed too, because I have to cut the oviduct, because the egg get stuck inside the oviduct where the egg come out, and she had the egg explode inside the belly, so they get infection in the belly. How is that called in when peritonitis? They get peritonitis, so she got peritonitis, so I have to cut the oviduct, take the eggs from the belly. I have a bunch of pictures like how they get those eggs exploded inside, because they don't have calcium to make the shell, or no to make the contractions in order to get out. They need calcium for contraction of the muscles. So sometimes the egg is still there and you have to interfere there. So one of the chickens, she's spayed, and now she's like so beautiful because she doesn't have to spend her calcium on anything to produce eggs. So she's big.
Yeah.
Berta.
And then Carlos comment here, I'm sure even a little will help, right? So the thing with Colombia is that how the dollar exchanges here. $1 is roughly 3,700 pesos here. So you just imagine, like, just with $5, $10, whatever you're able to send, is you sort of like triple the buying power with that. So buying the carrots, for the sheep, like, the chicken, just whatever. It's like, I was gonna get up, but it's like,
I mean, this is a real nonprofit organization. This isn't like all these ones that you see that are fake, that have to play this stupid game to, like, we're nonprofit. It's like, man, y'all are just slimy. Nah, this is a real nonprofit organization.
Like sometimes it's like I get the animal and I don't have a heart to leave it again. Like Rita, the dog in the video, she was planned to go back there. I was just, okay, I take her, spay her to don't have babies and take her back there. I was like, she's eating, how I'm going to do that? Like, start the car and leave her there? Like, I am like, no, I cannot do that. And then find a hope, never more. So she, after a year, she's here. So like, full of stories like that. I don't have like, okay, the universe will provide, like something will happen, something will happen, or maybe I sell things. We are selling this kind of jewelry too, like from indigenous. And so I am like, okay, something will happen, suddenly people say, oh, I need you to check my dogs and that. So I go there. This story is very strong. Like these cats in Santa Marta, where we just came, Q was able to watch this situation in the coast. People drop cats every day. Like there are hundreds and hundreds, thousands in places of these kind of cats. This cat, somebody hit him until take the eye out, and all kind of trauma. He was like going around the whole time. So I was like, we were making the surgery with my colleague over there. She lives there, and she also, if she's connected, Natalia, she's like, wow, also working so hard for them. So we were in the surgery, taking the eye out because of the eye was dead already.
Yeah.
So he was dying. He was like in coma during the surgery. And I was the anesthesiologist. So I was like, okay, if you survive, I will take you with me. And he survived. Like 2 hours, I was like blowing his mouth, and I was like, boom, boom, boom. How would you say, CV?
CPR.
CPR, like 2 hours, you know, straight. I was like, if you leave, you are going to be with me. I promise you. And now he's the king of this house. Like he's my, you know, my everything. Like he's, yes. He's like a special cat. He's like developed, you know. He's an animal that is like maybe a developed spirit coming him, you know. Like,
yeah.
Because when some animal is sick, he's always next to them. Like he sits next to them and is watching over every sick animal there. He is very special.
Wow. Yeah, that's some real stuff. You know, that's some real like work, you know, real, you know, service to humanity and service to just the world, animal. It just, well, animals, if you look at it, to us, they're undeveloped humans. So it's humanity. It's all humanity. It's the real humanity, as opposed to this degeneracy pus thing that's inhuman.
Yeah.
And
when you mention the nonprofit, like the real nonprofit that's doing the work, that's where I also had that impression. I got that same, where I'm like, in general, I would like to give. Like if I'm able to, I would like to give to projects or businesses, or just like valuable contributing businesses or organizations, or just like people. And how you mentioned, like, you never know who or where the money's going, or how it, like, what it feeds into, to where when I came here, and that's the jewelry there that Andrea was speaking about. Yeah, so that's an effort for us. Like, it's another way to bring in funds, like proceeds go here, right? And that's where, like, coming here and doing the work, like being a volunteer, like coming, and it's like, okay, well, what you got to do? It's like, okay, so you got to sweep that, you know, like sweep that patio.
He's the professional poo picker.
Yeah. So we dealing with the excrements.
Yeah. So what would Brother Air say? The farm hand.
The farm hand. Yeah. So even, but it's cool though, because like being a part of it, because I wouldn't know necessarily like what it's like living in the countryside and what that takes, right? And coming here, seeing like, okay, you sweeping up this, the sheep, they may poo on the developed pavement in the back, right? There's a developed area.
They sleep under the roof from the house.
Exactly. So that's why we're constructing a separate domain for them, so then they could sleep under a different roof, not the roof close to the house. So when they sleep in here, they have their pellets, you know, all over, whatever. But it's like a daily thing, like you sweeping up from there. But what's really cool is that is being used for the compost. Like you able to take that, boom, sweep that, put that in the compost bucket. And then with the fruits and the vegetables, the skin, the seeds, whatever, boom, in the compost. What the chickens are producing with their waste or whatever, it's all compostable, and they're all scratching and creating that fertile soil. So it's just like watching that system happen in place. Like, okay, then you grating carrots, you know, the chickens eat the carrots, and then the sheep eat the carrots, so you chopping the carrots, dogs eating the soup, so it's Andrea's making soup, you know, like it's just like a whole a whole process and routine that goes on here with the operation. And then you got to worry also about like with the fencing, making sure everyone stays in, you know,
and the neighbors don't mess with any animals, things like that.
So you put a sign up. Is there a sign? Don't touch our animals.
Yeah. Danger animals.
Yeah, private property. Stay away.
Yeah, I am like in an island, you know. I feel the whole time like I am the only person like that, you know.
Yeah.
The neighbors.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's because it's revolutionary. There's not a lot of people that you know have a working farm, take care of all these animals, and then they're not gonna sell those animals in some way, whether it's like selling their skin or their hair or their meat or whatever. Like they're gonna sell something of it. And so they put in, it's like, it's a lot of work. I mean, just the farm life. Yeah, that's a lot of work. But most people, don't, because it doesn't end, you know. It's like
they don't stop, you know. I am sick or I have accidents. Sometimes, like right now, I had an accident yesterday with a turn, and I cannot walk, you know. Right now, I like but I have to do it, you know. I have to continue every day. If Q is not here, I do the whole thing, you know, because they eat, they have their needs. So it's like daily things, and like you gotta cut the grass, cut the trees, like the whole thing, you know, the whole thing every time. Plus my work, you know, my veterinarian work. So sometimes I am like feeding the chickens, and then I have a surgery, and then I have to give the medication to the animals, you know, like go to find something for them. And yeah, it's a constantly work 24 hours in 7 days. So
that's the roof right there. And then that's the pavement right there. Yeah, that's the developed area. That I'm sitting on.
So now that has been a lot of progress right now. Like that it has been, that what you say, like $5 for us means like a lot, you know, like a bag of carrots, and that lasts 1 week, you know, like that. That is like, oh, okay, they have food, now we are okay. You know?
Yeah. Now, are you able to grow any food there? What grows there on it? Looks like you're kind of in the mountains.
So if you take your pointer, if you go above the sheep in the back, that's a peach tree.
Okay. Nice.
I have some fruit trees here, like papayuela, that is a cousin of the papaya. Here you can grow plums, peach, pears, apples, strawberries, like a squash, lettuce, all kind of greens grow very good here. But when I try to plant something, always animals.
The animals get into it quick. Yeah. Well, yeah, you would have to have, I guess, a real good fence system for the gardens.
And that is so, like, I am getting improved because that kind of things, for example, they are so expensive to do. Like a good fence is like very, very expensive. So for example, the cow, I plant 70 fruit trees one time. It was a lot of efforts, and like in 1 week she ate the whole of them. So I was like, no. So I prefer to just go to the neighbors here. There are farms that they waste their food, you know, like
they have
plums,
and you just buy it from them. Yeah.
Yes, spinach, zucchini, cauliflower, cabbage.
Pretty much what you need. You know, it's like all the.
Yeah, we go with the bag like.
Yeah.
We chase.
Right.
Yeah, and I think in this picture too, Andrea, you built the fence.
I built that fence.
So where the sheep is,
all that
color,
fence.
So she
I do the whole thing.
That's what. So it's like it's real. Like
yeah. Right.
Like I'm watching Andrea with the chainsaw, like
Right.
watching with the a metal rod, like digging
Doing
posts,
posts.
you know, like
Yeah.
So it's like electric fence, you know. I'm just like to keep the
I did
boundary.
electric fence too.
Oh, you got electric fence too? Yeah.
Yes, for the dogs, like, because I cannot afford right now for a real fence. So when they go in the neighbors, it's a problem that sometimes the neighbors poison them. So I don't want to deal with neighbors here. Like one day because they were barking to someone, he was with a machete and I was there, you know, he was like with me and I was like, hey, Kusumba, Seymour, like, don't, like, let's go, like that crazy guy, like, like I was like, you know, let's go, you know. But yeah, I don't want to deal with neighbors because one neighbor already, he could with a machete the dog of another neighbor. You know? So I don't want those kind of problems or things like that. So yes, I have that. So they keep in the place, they play.
They get scared to leave, basically. It's like,
because
like,
they are smart.
Yeah,
because it's like the so you got like it's an invisible fence for the dog. One of those.
No.
It's like it's a wire.
It's a line.
Yeah.
Just a wire.
For all kind of animals, but they are like, they know that is not good, so they don't even touch it. So yes, I do that, but I was telling you, like, my next step is to put a net, it's a plastic net,
like
that is strong,
a firm plastic net, like not like the plastic that's kind of like a hockey, I mean not a like a soccer net, you know, like not flimsy like that, but just
firm.
Solid.
It's firm.
Yeah.
But there's a lot, and also because the territory, and I don't want them to be like in a cage, you know, like I want them to be almost free.
Right.
And actually, I go walk every day with them too. Like also because they need to socialize, they don't like to see another places, you know. So I go every day for a walk with them. That is part of the work. Like I feel like the schedule. Okay, they need to go out too.
So where is your, so what's all your land and what's the neighbor?
Okay, where the other animals are is already the neighbor.
Okay,
that is
there.
the neighbor.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And down there, is that a neighbor down there?
Yes, that is another neighbor. Crazy people, like they are with their cows. Actually, 2 of my dogs, they were rescued from one of the neighbor. I have to pay for them because I couldn't see that daily. I was like, they were tied. They are this small. They are Arturo and Capito. They are this small. And they were tied from a leg, you know, and I was washing dirt and they were coming. Every time they escaped, they were coming to my house, you know. They were like, oh, all animals always get here, you know. It's
they
like
know the vibe. Yeah, they just feel that. They're just like, we want to go over there.
Exactly. Yeah, that happened. So they just stay. One day they just don't leave, and when they see the owner before, they were barking at them. They were away of them, but one day he took them again and put them on chain. I couldn't sleep that night, like with Arturo. I was like, how to steal them, you know, but I was like, they are going to make a gunshot, me in the 3 a.m, going to the neighbor to take a dog. So finally, what I did is like to talk to him. I said, you know, how much is your dog? And I have to pay for him, and they now are here. Both of them.
Yeah.
Now,
what do the dogs and the cats eat?
The dogs, they eat. I make soup. Like the soup has like carrots, zucchini. It has like corn, like it has also some starch, because I have to make like a big pot, you know. I cannot give them the pure food, you know. Like I wish I could give them like one egg. Actually, I give them eggs too from the chickens. And they also eat like the commercial food, because it's also like a lot of work. Like not only the soup is like they have something better than that commercial trash food. But they are like 13 dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, and 4 cats. The cats, they eat chicken livers. There are like stores where they like the livers are like the leftovers. How you call it?
Just
so
like waste.
Exactly. Yeah. So I take it from those stores. They give it away. Sometimes they give away the heads, or what the people don't eat, they like give them away.
Right. Yeah. So you got the hookup. You've sort of made those relationships, and you know, you can go do your pickup. Now, how often do you do those pickups? Do you have to do that every day, or like every other day?
Every week I go to the town and bring the food. Like, but imagine how my car looks like.
Yeah.
And before I didn't have cars, so it was crazy.
Wow.
Like, it was like a donkey mood.
And if you see these bags of carrots, it's serious. I've never seen it. What's the kilograms of the?
50 kilograms. 50, like that is 110 pounds.
Of carrots.
Wow.
So you pick, like you go to the market, it's like 1 pound, or like, all right, 5 pounds. Or you go to like Restaurant Depot, it might be like, all right, 30 pounds.
Might get the 15 pounds. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but this is like industrial size. Like you go to the farm, they holding them on their shoulder, loading them like, serious.
Oh, yes. When the cow was here, it was like 5 bags of that weekly.
Crazy.
Wow.
And then I see Carlo. It all takes time and people to get farming going. If I was closer, I would come.
Those bags.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, these ain't no joke.
Nah. It's dense. It just like But when Carlo's asking, does it help your fitness? It's wild because like being in this sort of lifestyle, everything is effort. Everything is like it's you working, whether you grading you just grading carrots, but you work in the deltoid, the forearm, then we clearing the trees in the back using a machete. So I'm trying to use like some of the kung fu techniques and working on the angles and like having fun though. Like I was like, how can I? All right, these are angled this way. All right, shing. All right, we try to like clear. So it's and then like digging, you digging holes like you just feel it in the back. Walking. Andrea mentioned walking with the dogs. It's like walking up a mountain. So it's like you hiking, right? Like you hiking up there, walking. Yeah, it's plenty of health inducing activities just embedded in the lifestyle.
Naturally should be, that is our nature, like to keep like that. That is our gym, you don't need to go to the gym. Actually, people say, hi, but how you like bull muscles, you know, like if you are vegan, how the protein and the whole story.
Right, yeah. Come on down to Callum
I am
Farm.
like, you think like what? Like I am stronger than you that you eat meat.
Right, right.
I can.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you get your protein. It's like,
you know, in the beginning when I was here, I was like with 30 kilograms. I was like, I cannot take. Like
right.
now it's like 30 kilograms for me is like.
Yeah.
Even I just remember we doing this construction in the back, and the bags of sand and gravel and concrete. You're like, those bags are heavy, you know? Like,
They are 60 kilograms. That is 130 pounds.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's moving that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Wow. Definitely.
And definitely, that is like, it goes also with the practice of this diet, you know, like energy, like how you get the energy, you know. People ask me how I do those works being vegan, like not eating animals, and I'm like, you see how active I am daily, you know. I have like never stop, you know, like I do the whole works, cut the grass, the machete, and that machine is like the chainsaw is heavy too. Like what you could is also the strength. So it's like a lot of work every time. And then do the delicate with the surgeries. Then I pass to the like to be so delicate to make a surgery. So yeah, I pass through all kind of strength.
See, this is the real. See, for all these soft people out there, because people, you know, like this is, I don't want to hear no complaining from anybody. Like this is, you know, it's the real stuff here. As you say, it's real life.
Yeah. But it's wonderful life, you know. Like it's a lot of work, but you always go like there is no noise. It's like you work with the nature, you know, like if it rains you cannot do works outside, you know. If it like the sun comes, so you go and work, like you go with nature the whole time, you know. No, I cannot cut right now the trees, I cannot do this or I cannot do that, you know. Like you are in tune with nature the whole time. Like the time I was saying to you, like my time, I am like so bad with the time because it's like, oh, it's already 10.
Well,
you know?
Sun up, sun down. You just reading the sun.
It's other kind of time, other kind of vibration, other kind of everything. Even it's a hard work, but it's like very nice. Like it's like you feel that is what human beings should do. You know, when we were watching the monkeys with the fruits, I was like, you see, they are not going or set up the alarm to go to work. You know, they are only worried to go and take the fruit from the tree and chill on the branch and eat and share with their group, you know, like, hey, how are you, you know, today? And that's it. Only that. And I was like, human being is so complicated the whole time, you know, like go daily to work and I have to wake up early, like it goes against like the natural thing, you know, like only the alarm, just the alarm, that is like, bah, you know.
Like wake up for another great day.
Again, the boss,
you know, get into the shower and put chemicals under your arms so that you smell culturally acceptable.
And on your
and your hair, and put all kinds of stuff on.
Wow, that is like when I go in this situation of the pandemic thing, when I observe, you know, the people, when I go to civilization, I'm like,
see, running around with a mask. You know, like you just got done like
Bogotá is where people
all
is more speak
all
about
kinds of stuff from the animal.
like is that I feel like a monkey, you know. I feel like what is this? Like,
yeah,
wow.
like what are they doing? Yeah.
And there was actually so when Andrea's mentioning the monkeys, we were by the coast in Colombia, and we were able to see monkeys in their nature. So that's how we saw them, like with the fruit, like breaking it on the tree and eating it,
throwing to us coconuts.
Yeah, they knocked the coconut down to us. Wow.
Everyone's taking pictures.
Yeah,
and they are like, wow, what you doing? You know, throwing to things like
at the,
one of them grabbed the stick and was just like breaking it on the tree and just like throwing the different parts down at everybody. Yeah,
like, what you washing? You know, like
Watch this.
Right. Like I don't go to your house and look in your window and
exactly with the camera. Yeah, just like
the cameras.
We were saying, we must look so strange to them because the sight, it's like, and it's challenging. It's definitely challenging to see them and not want to capture them because it's just so, it's just fascinating to just see them. Right.
But we love nature already. We have messed up with them. So when we see them, we want to capture the moment, you know, but we already messed up with them. So it's like, oh, wow.
Yeah. So then it seemed like every human being, like from the monkey's perspective, is with the camera. So I was joking.
Yeah, like, so they keep seeing. That's all they see is people.
Yeah, like what is that device? No, we gotta break that.
Like there's some weird looking monkeys holding something. What do they got?
Hold up, that's not natural. Like
weird looking hair.
We got that coconut that way.
Exactly. They knocked the coconut down when they were like going through their antics against some of the people. But what I was bringing up was in this location, we went on this. We were like one of the beaches we heard was like 3 hours away, 3 hours walking, and then 3 hours back because we had to come back to where we were. And Andrea is asking me if I want to do that. I'm thinking like that's an investment, you know, like 6 hours.
And more than 6 hours because where we were, it was like even farther. People was from that beach to that, maybe 3 hours and a half or maybe more. And it was like, wow.
So we kind of, but we already explored what was there, like most of what was there. So we decided, all right, let's take this journey, like adventure. See, we here, so let's do it. So we go through its strenuous hills. We going through this like Indiana Jones. Like it's you walking just like you walking like on the beach, okay, then you go into some woods, all right, but then you hit up some mountainous area and it's like steep, like it's not even like a little bit steep, it's like high grade percentage, and it winds, so you're just sort of like, oh man, I hope this ends here. Okay. Right? Like, but it keeps going. So you don't know, then it stops, then you plateau, then it's again. So we just going through a bunch of that. It's like, it's just us though. We see different people, they come
sometimes.
Like, all right, one person.
Not everyone has that adventure, you know, that are few like from the regular tourists, like from 100, like maybe to take the adventure.
Exactly. So you got to see who was serious about that too, like who actually enjoyed that aspect. So we watching, all right, we go through this whole adventure, just hours getting into this space, get to our destination, just enjoy that scenery. Then we coming back. It starts raining. We going through like this. So all all that we had to go up and all that is wet now. So we going through this this strenuous path. Like it felt like we like went through something, you know, like together and like with nature, because we saw monkeys too. And when it started raining, we got to interact with them like on a closer level. They were more like looking at us and watching us and eating. And so we get out of there, and then we end up on this one beach, and then see a restaurant kind of spot where everyone's just sitting, and we felt like we just like came from another time period, you know?
Yeah, right.
That was a movie thing.
Like, what are these people? What is that?
What are they doing?
Restaurant?
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah, like that drinking or what? Yeah. It was
drinking beer in the beach.
Yeah.
With the plantain, like we were eating in that vision. Our cucumber, our tomato. Oh, that cucumber
so like
was fabulous. After that trip, like the cucumber was like, wow.
You really appreciate the cucumber. I don't get so many cucumbers. I usually will get like red cabbage. That's usually at least what I've been rocking with raw salad wise. But coming here, Andrea likes a lot of cucumbers, so I've been eating more in general with the salads. But like going from that long hike and then just like slicing a cucumber and biting into that hydrating center, it was like
water,
you just
that hit
like
because we are no good drinking water. We are more fruit thing, but imagine carry fruits for the hiking. But then the cucumber was like, oof, thank you.
Exactly. Tomatoes. But that's what was great too, was with this camping situation. And I know because you on that camping vibe and with the fire and in the nature, and just being able to, they had like the clay stove kind of situation where you could grill up we were able to get in a squash, like a decent sized squash up in there.
Yeah.
We got what was it? Beets,
tomatoes.
Yeah, tomatoes, the beets.
Did you pick these, or they just had them somewhere?
No. We went to like a market, and then we went to so we picked up the fruits and veggie, plantains.
And again, so weird, you know, that our host in the city over there, she was like, only you will carry all those things into there, you know, but like inside they only like sell mucus and pus.
Yeah.
And they have some fruits, but it's like if you want a veggie meal, like expensive, because it's like that convenience thing. You in there, so you pay. But then when you want a veggie meal, like pure, it's hard to find, especially when you're not like, if you're not doing oil or you're not doing salt, or you're in your mode. It's hard to.
Hugh is even more weird than me. Because he can know it, like no in a restaurant. Any restaurant will like sell something for him.
Yeah. So that's where it's home. Or like raisins on hand, or just keeping it.
But we got mangoes from the trees too, like a lot of mangoes trees
by the coast. They had mango trees on the street. So not even just, you could see some in people's backyards. It's like, they have a mango tree. This was like, you walk into the bus, mangoes on a tree. And if they ripe, or you still just take them and let them ripen, you have some mangoes.
Ripe. Over there, they get ripe very soon.
Because the temperature.
Because the monkeys don't let them ripe. So they eat the mangoes the whole time. So when we found green mangoes, we were like saving them and then getting them ripe.
And it was just a treat. It was like it extended the experience. like taking mangoes from this place, going to this other place, they ripen, and then you able to eat them. Now you have some food.
Yeah.
Trying to find. I don't know if any of this looks like where y'all were at. I was looking for some.
It's so beautiful. And I was we didn't get exactly in that place because that la Sierra Ciudad Perdida, like Lost City, is like 1 week walking. That is sometime we gotta get there.
Well, that's like the Appalachian Trail over here, where you can walk for I don't know whatever 1,000 miles or whatever that thing is.
Yeah,
and people just go on a mission, backpacking.
Yeah,
and there is like also a lot of indigenous communities, so you get to interact with them. It's a beautiful, like it was like one of the leaders that they are called mamos. Is like mamos are the ones that have the most knowledge. They look at us like as more like the little brothers, like they are like, oh yeah. He was like saying in Spanish, humanos, ellos no saben, they don't know, but in the language, like they don't speak Spanish very well. So he was like, don't know, no. They don't know, like the people in the city with these plastic things and all that, like they don't know. They say the truth, like they are keeping because this is called the heart of the world, because it's a lot of this place in the Sierra Nevada, because it's a Nevada close to the beach. So imagine the biodiversity in that short space, like from here to here is like, that is the closest mountain in the world, so that make it so biodiverse. And so they are there taking care of that place, for them is of course sacred. So they say that they are taking care of the heart of the world, and they look at us like undeveloped, in certain like way. So they are very the whole time like taking care of water to produce more water. Like he was like, before the lagoon was small, now we are making it bigger. Now nowadays we are making it bigger with the mamos of the Sierra. So of that people, they get, for example, they close one part of the park because people throwing trash. So they were closing, like for 40 years, it was like they got the message. They say, we got the message. We got to teach you that you don't mess with nature, you don't mess with nature. So because a lot of plastic, mask, one was like picking masks everywhere. And I was like, yo, this is like a diaper,
Yeah, people, for real.
Yeah,
walking around in the what you look like walking around in the woods with a mask on.
Yes,
that is like on the beach. Yeah,
on the beach, just like chilling. Come on.
But
tourism is very like where tourists get is like messing with nature the whole time. Like so. A lot of places.
Because this is like probably what it looks like the is that the tourist
thing,
kind of looking like out of
daily we're picking up a lot of trash daily
when you so we're on this sort of like camping ground. And I want to make at least two points where when I came here the first time, actually, we went to this beach area, and once we step out of this sort of this greenery, because first it was a trail like in a jungle setting, like vines, and just like the leaves were different. It's different than where I'm at, especially in San Diego, sort of desert. But we come out of this area and we step out, and it's like a pile of like broken sandals and plastic bottles and plastic bags and like just the whole, like, I can't even, it was shocking in that sense for me.
The first time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you in the United States, it's all cleaned up, you know, like put in behind the curtain, kind of like shh, like it's no trash. No.
Some places now. I was actually my Eagle Scout my Eagle Scout project was to clean up a park that was just so filthy. It was like the parks I grew up in, and they was just they had so much like hypodermic needles in the creek and all kinds of stuff. And so that was my project. It was like I got a bunch of guys in there. We just cleaned it up, you know.
Yeah. Oh man. So we go to this beach, and it's like that. This time we're on this campground, and really like doing our best to just like be conscious.
Because I hate
plastic. Like you leave it better, but the rule is you leave it better than when you got there.
Exactly.
Like the camp space. Yeah,
exactly. I am very exigent with the plastic. When I go to the store, people is going to give me no bags, please. No, and no. But then you see that, and you are like, imagine everywhere. And this, what Q is mentioning, is the trash that the sea bring from Panama, the port of Panama, and bring it here to this side of Colombia. Is where all the trash is stopped. Like everything, flip-flops, shoes, toys, all kind of, like, you can find
it just washes up on the beach.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like you get to witness the trash that is polluted in the ocean that everyone talks about. That's what I'm. That's more. Like, because it's you might see a video or like some people talk about it, but then to be on the beach and see a mountain nature, of it, it's like
beautiful place.
Yeah, you want to take a picture, you like in nature or like on the beach. But it's right. Like,
there is a shoe here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, there is a flip flop here. No. Let's go to the other angle.
But you can't ignore it. That's the thing.
Right.
It's like it puts it right in front of your face.
This is the Pacific Coast, and it's another national park too, close to Buenaventura in Chocó, where it's like one of the most biodiverse forests in the world too. Like, is where rain the most. It rains every day in certain places, so that make it like rich.
Yeah.
So it's a special place. I never was before there. It was like waterfalls coming into the ocean. So and where is no tourists, like we went to a part where no tourists there. So it's like, wow, it's like amazing. There are places that you cannot even imagine that nature can be that perfect, like, and then you see the plastic bag and you are like, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
It's like the constipation in the earth,
It's all, because it's all going, it's like it's all goes somewhere. People throw it away and they think like, oh, I did my part. I recycled. And it's like, no, not really. You don't know where it's going.
The problem is huge.
That's what's tough, though.
Yeah. Throw a little oil leak in for good measure, and I'm sure that that helps.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
That place is like Panama make an enema. And the whole trash, like. The whole thing like there.
And what's sad is, and you would have like, these big cleanup efforts, and I'm sure people, they try to clean things up here and there, or people came in or something or whatever, but it's like, then, here comes some more. You know, it's like
tomorrow, 2 days later. And not so when we're in the when we're on the campsite, that it was interesting to see what what the waste was. So what kind of things were thrown, like shampoo packets,
the aluminum,
you know, like that kind of aluminum,
metallic,
flimsy, like
who uses that? Who uses shampoo packets?
You know,
like never compost, you know, like never.
Right.
Like they take years of years.
So it's like those kind of things, like the Vienna sausage cans popping up. I definitely know about those for sure.
Ketchup,
from
those
the past. Ketchup, condiments, just like cups and cans and bottles.
Beers,
like the beers, and like there was a spot for cigarettes, for cigarette butts, that on a specific beach around
the party beach. That was the party.
The party beach where people they getting together. That's where we walked in and saw that restaurant.
The dogs are singing now.
You hear that?
Their nightly song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that like often. Like they get only like all of them start doing that
at the same. Well, that's they're all like the pack. They start talking at the same time.
Yeah, like one will do it, and then you just hear the other, and then the others just build up. Yeah, everybody's doing it.
They teach the new puppies. Like the new puppies learn that, so everyone get to do it. Like,
it's like you saw that social experiment where they had the people in the waiting room, and then they had like everybody stand up,
right,
and then
right.
sit down. Yeah.
It's like, it's that. Yeah, pretty much. You're right.
Yeah, so
we
beautiful
got,
place.
Humans, man, we just did a horrible job, man. We just really we just did a terrible job with life, man.
For real. And it's like, wow, you just watch the people like playing loud music, like you want to listen the waves
to nature. Exactly. To the breeze, the waves, like it's so meditative, like birds, the trees rustling, like all the different just pieces of what's around, and then put on the gangster music. Right,
the whole gangsta here, you know, that represent like that they talk always about to drink alcohol, about treat woman as a sexual object, and so on. So that kind of music and drinking alcohol, and you are like
in the nature, like what is going?
Like right.
And in a dangerous place, because over there hundreds of people have died in these beaches because a lot of waves, you know. So in some of the beaches, so it say like, don't swim here because 100 people have died here, you know.
Don't become that.
And you are like,
what do they die from? They get from
because
the current?
Different. Yes. Different parts of this ocean. Like you watching, you could see it too, because it's like one
they suck. It sucks. The water sucks.
Oh, what's that called? The somebody in the chat say the certain type of current that.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like
and you could see like different parts have their own characteristic, but you could see why you would not be okay if you went in there, like that kind of thing, like this one. And it's like, all right, these waves, they just keep rolling.
because it sucks you. Yeah, it sucks you out. It brings you out. Like and if you try to fight it, like the only way you really survive that, you got to just go with it, and then it eventually take you around, and then you just try to float, but you can't. People die because they try to fight against it and they get scared.
Exactly. Rip current.
That was it.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So a lot of people like they get the advice, but they drink and then go in the water and they don't.
Oh yeah, that's it. They're done.
And the alcohol, and then drop the can because they are already like drunk, so they put the can whatever, and you are like, wow, yeah. So it's when the indigenous say like they don't know, they don't know. And that is when you get close, you know, and it's a sacred place. So for the indigenous, that happened when people die is because it's the payment for nature. Like the nature is taking what it has been stolen. So for them, it's like, yes, like that is the thing. They don't suffer for that to happen. It's like nature taking your life because you're messing up with nature.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Because
they look at us like indigenous were looking at turns like they look at people like you weird, you know.
Yeah. Because they're just, you know, it's more connected. It's sad that it'd be nice when you come across the handful of indigenous peoples that are closer in terms of the you know, the vegetarian, fruitarian type of consciousness, and there's not a lot of them, and that's where that, you know, where they lost a lot of their power and their control, you know, because they started to degenerate with the food, and so they're still more connected than anybody out here, you know, in the average, you know, citizen in civilization. But what they're doing is it's proved to be not sustainable because of the diet part, you know, so that if there's something that they could take from, you know, I don't know if they wouldn't take it from civilization, they would take it more from us. And those, I mean, we come out of civilization and we understand we're sick, because part of what can be helpful for a lot of us that if you live in the urban environments or the more so-called developed spaces, well, we need that because that's how sick we are, you know, so that we have a little bit of comfort as we do our enemas and as we clean ourselves up and we transform our blood. And so, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. And so they create all this technological stuff that's most of it unnecessary, but a lot of it, you know, out of all of it, you know, you might get 10% of it that can be very beneficial. Like enema bags are very beneficial. The Kalima board, you know, the colonic system, you know, that kind of stuff is useful technology. And then now for the very long time, we've had the information for sustainable energy. I don't know if you have any just like solar panels or any of that kind of stuff going on, if you like off the grid type of stuff.
Yeah.
And, but it's
that
like,
is the goal.
yeah, that's the goal. And definitely, yeah, you can definitely do that there. And it's just weird that this technology has been around a really long time, but it's still odd, you know, because they fought against it. It's just still weird if you're talking about like, oh yeah, I got some solar and, you know, I'm off the grid, and people like, what? You're off the grid? And
yeah.
And then they ask for money, like in certain countries that is illegal. Like to
yeah,
take water,
right.
Like to take water is illegal. Like wow, like to take the solar panels is illegal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's sick, but that's part of that sickness, that real constipated mind that comes out of, you know, the same mind that would create a law saying you can't have a solar panel on the top of your domicile. That's the same type of mind that has these sadistic people in the slaughterhouses, you know, and in this, and that's, I feel like, because I've seen a lot of those videos where they got the rapists, the folks that like regularly rape the animals as they're killing them. There's that video too, you know, and you talk about getting banned on YouTube. Like they start showing that stuff, they'll be, you know, but I mean, we're just talking about just a level of pathology, mental illness, physical illness that's so unprecedented, and it's just viewed as normal. You know, it's the soft white underbelly, as they say. Just, oh, that's over there, don't worry about that. And
exactly.
And so yeah,
so actually the shaman that we get to know over there, we went some time to the community. He was like, you clean. He was saying to me like, that I keep, because he make kind of diagnose like through your blood. He was like taking our
like a pulse, kind of just.
Yeah, he was like touching us, and he was like, you clean, good. He was like, good.
Yeah.
You don't go to doctor. He say to me like, you don't go to doctor. And I say, no, 10 years ago I haven't. Like,
yeah. That's like that indigenous diagnostic methodology, you know, where they got some stuff where they can look and be like, they can tell.
And he say, yeah, I don't eat meat, and he was like, very good. Very good.
Yep. And that's the thing is like you go up in the mountains and you find some of these people, you know, you do find they are there, but it's like they don't have YouTube channels. They don't want to have nothing to do with that. Like that nutty world. Like they just existing and doing their thing.
Yep.
And
they
it's
are
like
close to nature. Like like why I say about monkeys, they just live, you know. They don't complicate their life. Yeah,
well, it's that fulfillment, you know, and that's what, you know, and you can tell like I always talk about, you know, do what you're passionate about, you know, like investigate, why are you on this planet? Like what is it that you're supposed to do? Like, what is it that you are supposed to bring to the table? Because a lot of people kind of look around aimlessly, and some people, the unfortunate ones, don't find it ever. You know, they never really find what that is, and they don't have the support and the courage to, even if they did find it, to actually follow it and to go check it out. But you know, that's a big part of this path that makes practicing the Mucusless diet easier, is when you're in alignment, you know, and you're living in alignment in whatever, because we're all going to be doing different things, because we got to bring a lot of different things to the table, but you got to be, you know, living your passion, you know, finding that thing. And then it's like, you know, it's like a magic carpet ride. Yeah. Yeah. This is like real happiness, you know, that real connection to the universe, you know, through, you know, nature, through animals, through just the air that you're breathing, you know, just the whole thing. And and that's hard to, I was talking about this about just the experience of the recent fast, you know, but just every time, because it's like what happens when you do some of those long fasts, you'll do like basically like what y'all did, where you came out the woods and then just walking by a restaurant and just seeing, like, you went 21 days or however long you went, and you didn't eat, you had no solid food, and these people are in here stuffing themselves, and you know that they did that like 3 to 4 times a day, every day, that entire time you've been fasting.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're sitting there just like, man, how can I even have a conversation with that? You know, it's like, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, you talk about not relating. It's just, you just kind of look at it like, sometimes I walk around, because I'm a history buff and I like studying history, but I have this way of walking around in the present, but seeing things as if I'm looking at history, like at, you know, like if you could go back in time and it was walking around in the Middle Ages somewhere and just observing the culture and the mindset and the way that people were, or any culture anywhere around the world. But I do that now where I'm, you know, my mind is somewhere, you know, 2,000 years in the future. And I'm just kind of walking around like it's a museum, just like, wow, man, people really do this. Like people really go to these restaurants and eat this death stuff. Like they haven't figured it out yet. There's still, you know, people really go to these hospitals and let indiscriminate operations and getting cut on and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's like, man, this is real. Like this is actually happening.
Yeah,
because you can get, as you get cleaner and cleaner, you start to get disconnected from that level of pain and suffering. Like that, you kind of go somewhere else.
Sensitive.
Yeah, yeah,
empathetic too.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, you know, and that's one of the reasons why I always kind of, I don't let myself, because of what I have to do as an educator, I don't let myself go too far away where I'm not relating to the pain and suffering.
Yeah,
because that has to be shown. Like
you have to, yeah,
uncovered.
There has to be a connection there.
Yeah,
in order to
help anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
To relate to anybody.
Precisely.
You gotta kind of, and so I'm like, okay, because lots of times I'm still relating, you know, like stuff that I did 20 years ago. So I have to, if I'm meeting somebody for the first time, I have to like go back to 2001 consciousness to relate, you know, to just be like, oh yeah, man, I used to do that. And like, yeah, man, I used to get them. Boy, I know what you're going through with that pizza and that cheese.
Yeah.
You know, it just, but I kind of don't anymore, you know, like internally I don't really feel that's kind of, I think I flushed a lot of that out years ago, but I still got it, you know, I still got the memory of it. Like the feeling is actually kind of gone, you know, like some of it, not all of it, but like it's hard to bring some of that back because you rid yourself of it on such a level. But the memories, I always did well to just make sure I remembered things, you know, just had that memory, you know. And Brother Air says sometimes, because I'll remember stuff that he says, you know, just in all his stories, because I just wanted to make sure to really keep that memory, because we got into this predicament because we forgot in the first place. Like we forgot who we were and what we're supposed to do, and went off on these weird tangents and got sick, and you know, and so now I'm like, all right,
thousands of years, you know, it has been through generations. We forgot, and we lost power. We lost like many things that we are supposed. So when you start cleaning, also is certain like things that get you like more sensitive to the energies, to like all that. When someone is eating, like I cannot see right now like someone killing, you know, or doing something to an animal, because I feel it, you know. So more clean you are, more like you going back to that, going back to nature. And that is where it's like sometimes you are so disconnected. That happened to me when I fast, that you get so disconnected and you cannot, like the smells, everything is like awakening, you know. One day I did 44 days fasting because I really need to clean. I was like feeling the call to clean. And I went to the ceremony with the indigenous, with ayahuasca. And then I got that message that the ayahuasca was so hard on me compared with others, that I was like 3 days what it take like 1 day for regular people, regular diet. I was like thinking that I wasn't going to go back, you know. I was like, and when the shaman said you need to drink soup, and I was like, no, I don't. A soup, like he is vegetarian too, like this shaman doesn't eat meat. So he was like, you need a soup like to land, because I was like just in another place. And the ayahuasca was telling me, do you see? Because I was taking a lot of mucus and maybe parasites, those longest strings too, and a lot of mucus coming out from that elimination. And the shaman was and the ayahuasca, like the information, you know, because that connection was telling me like, do you remember those things that you were coming out from your body? That is what caused the behavior of people. You know? So I didn't want to eat soup. I was like, I want fruit. I want a banana. You know,
right. Give me some.
I don't want, because I was like, oof, it was like so strong. Then after a while, people who go to this often, when they knew the shaman helper, when they knew that I was going after a fast, they say, what you were doing? You do the ayahuasca or you do the fasting, but both. Like, no. But yeah, it was like, I was feeling like, no, in this, I thought that I wasn't going to be able to come back. You know, I was like, I don't eat. And I couldn't see the shaman was doing things around me. And he was like, you need to take a soup. And I was like, no. I don't want that. Yeah. So yes, it's like, we are just disconnected, you know, we are just have been disconnected, and it's so hard to unlearn. It's like unlearn. You know, like what the information in your DNA is already like from your parents, your grandparents, and so on. So you want to stop that, and then it's from you, is that start. But that is like take time and a lot of effort. You know, that is what this transition is about. Like, okay, we are going back, you know, we are not in a telepathic period yet.
Right. Yeah. It's the, you know, this transformation. It's, you know, people keep thinking that this is going to be some kind of overnight thing, or that it's just quick. And it's like, man, we got so much work to do. We just got to get started. You know? We got a lot of work to do.
Those mucus is like, I clean and I show my family and I say how this is bad, because sometimes people say that in doing enemas is very bad. And I was like, I am like, do you think this is bad to take out? Do you want to put it in, leave it in, or out? You know, how you can say that this is bad to do? You know, this is saving my life. You know, this has saved my life. Like my health, my physical appearance changed a lot. My spiritual way, my like that with animals. You can see, you know, when I was overweight and hugging like that cow, you know, like things like that. It's like, it's a lot of changes, you know, a lot of changes in all sense, as a woman, as like living here, you know, it's like the whole energy change, like no depression, no, like I feel happy the whole time, you know. Of course, like I cry a lot, because when I see these unfairly things with animals, I cry, and I like that break my heart. But I keep going the whole time, you know. I don't feel like, I feel complete, I feel blessed, you know, not looking for anything, just keep working on myself. It's the only thing I gotta do. You know, it's like keep working on myself.
And one thing Andrea mentions a lot is that it's not just about the diet. So when she's expressing about working on yourself, really having a full spectrum. A full spectrum of what you're working on with the diet, with the spiritual practice, just really honing in on the mental aspect of yourself. and developing principles. Like what something to look into is what principles would you like to exemplify in your being, just through your being, and the diet can help. It's a
liberty.
Ultimately the fuel, the liberty. But yeah, having that in your mind, what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, it's that cultivation. I mean, and I'm always an advocate for hardcore study. I'm like that, just that reading and analyzing and that kind of school type of study.
Yeah.
But your own school, not their schooling, but your actual actual education that you have to give yourself. And but that becomes part of this path of it's like finding your path and then having the courage to go down that road, going down it, because whether you're called to seek enlightenment or seek peace or seek freedom or seek being of service to humanity, or making people laugh, making people feel good, being this love, like exemplifying some kind of love vibration, whatever it is, it's like you got to find that. Everybody's got to, because no one can tell you. You can have a mentor that might suggest to you what they see, but no one can specifically tell you, like, okay, this is what you're going to do. At least that's my opinion. I guess there's some people that say, well, my guru told me that this was my path, and so this is what I'm on. Okay, fine. But I'm saying, like, where I come from, you got to find your own path. Like, now you get counsel from the mentors and from the elders, definitely, and hold them in high regard. But at the end of the day, you can't live your life for them, for the other people. That's the problem that I see with some of that type of mentality. You find people that are trying to live their life for their mentors or their family or their gurus or whatever. And it's like, no, you got to find your path and, and have that courage to go down it.
Yeah.
And whatever your, peace and tranquility. And if that's what you want, because part of what a lot of people, you got to clean yourself up enough to even want peace. Because most folks, like when you're eating a dead animal, you don't want peace. Like, that's not what you want. You're turning on like all kinds of chaos on these little, little
drama
devices. Yeah, the drama and getting in all the emotion, and because you don't feel good. It's like you want that emotion all the time to, like, get you sucked into what's going on, what's the drama,
over and over again.
Yeah, you get caught in the hamster wheel where you're just running around, and that's what pop culture to me is. A lot of that. It's a lot of hamster wheel, because it's just stuff that the people get so emotional. That's why, I was just curious, because when that Will Smith thing happened, I knew I already knew how that was just gonna make everyone go crazy. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do a viral video on this, and then I'm gonna just look at all the crazy comments, because people are gonna just go nuts. Because I could care less about it. It was just, I literally was like, I know that this is gonna get, like, if me putting this video up will help one person learn about the Mucusless diet, then I'll put it up here. And but what's funny to me is just how emotional people get about it, where they're like, they're like, oh, they're like, yeah, Will did a great job, and other people's like, no, he's a criminal, and then other people like, mind your business, why would you even put this out, like all these different, and it's just like, and that's just showing you right there. It's like, yeah, you're already too caught up. Like, when you get that emotional about pus and mucus activity, activities that are born out of pus and mucus eating, then, and we all probably do to a certain extent. We all have our little things that we
and that's what I wanted to touch in on that, because when you were talking about the indigenous just living their life, right? Like, it's something that I reflect on a lot, where it's sort of that balance, because say like us, where we're like public, right? To some extent, we're out here like doing a video, or like, all right, I'm gonna post this, or
right.
And then there's that other side that's just like nothing to do with that, and just like what's going on the news, I have no idea. Like I don't know what's going on. Like
that happened to me.
yeah, like, for real.
Sometimes I go to the city and I am like, they are in a strike, and I am like, ooh, what is going on?
Oh, yeah, you just shopping, putting apples in your
right.
Whoa. So
it's the chaos out there.
Yeah, the chaos. So it's definitely, I do find it fascinating to reflect on that kind of like that balance. I know we spoke about that before, just bringing up that balance aspect of being in the world, but then not, and walking that line, so to speak.
Yeah, because I look at us like we have to be those guides and those friends, you know, folks that kind of, because we come out of that world, so we can speak that language, we can relate to it enough to be able to help the people that want to be helped, that can be helped. And so it becomes for those that's called to it, it's a service, it's a community service of like, well, let's help whoever we can, and then we'll get out of here. You know, it's like, get out the way. We're like, all right, we put all this out here. Like I said, don't take the YouTube as all this for granted, because they already gave me one strike. You know, the YouTube could be gone tomorrow. You know, when it starts getting too hard, because that's the thing, when it starts getting too hard, and it's like, and the universe is starting to say, all right, move on to the next thing, you know? So right now it's this, it's like, this is information we put out here, as long as I'll dial back the messages that I know will pick up friction, you know, all right, I'll dial those back. We'll focus on mucoid plaque. I've never had a problem with talking about that. Up to now, but but then trying to build the private spaces, you know, because that's really the next piece, is having the private spaces. You sort of use these public forums to just let people know you're here, but then you're constantly inviting people that are interested into the private spaces, so that you can have the uncensored discussions and the uncensored type of interactions. And so I think that's going to be the proper sort of funneling system now, you know, kind of moving forward. But
and actually, you cannot serve others if you are not working in yourself. You know, you're never going to be able to help others if you not helping yourself. You know, what you have to offer something that you don't have yet. You know, like it is called spiritual knowledge, wisdom, or like in the diet, or in the health. Well, in general, like in the health, or like in the emotional state. How can I say to you, like, if I am so emotional, how can I say to you something, you know, about your emotions? So like, and I believe that we came to here to live in this experience is to serve, you know, at the end is to serve, you know, like, and how you can serve if you cannot serve yourself, you know, like how, if you are unhappy or you are not at peace, how you can bring that into the world. Actually, there is a book that is called The Million Circle that talk about it, you know, talk about like, start by you, you know, like then is the circle of your family, that like as example, you know, but people who surround you. So I can't believe like sometimes how you inspire people without know, you know, sometimes people come, how, because they see the change, you know, in all aspects, you know, in your character, that you are peaceful. Change.
Speaking of change.
Exactly. That picture come when I was like, that was the practice when I had the hand inside the cow. That was in that practice. So how I lost the idea.
Or you're speaking about, say, like if you were emotional.
Yes. So sometimes people come to me and ask me, or how I do to be peaceful, you know, or like woman coming to me and about to ask me about the cycle and all that, because my cycle now are like not suffering from that those like big emotions, like I have to learn that too, and all that kind of things. How people come and suddenly like, oh, what you say like to me about to change the diet, I reduce the amount of meat and that create like less blood, or whatever, you know, like they watch you and they see the change in you, so they start changing too, like make changes, like Omar, like the one that is from Mexico, he was watching me, now he's into the community, and he was like, how are how is your fasting and how you do to do this, and then he now is practicing, you know, and now they really appreciate, because that changed life. So the Million Circle talk about it, you know, you start doing your thing, like you should show the picture of me with the hand inside and now hugging the cow.
right.
So yes, it's like a lot of changes in all sense, you know, like I feel more connected to nature, definitely. Like I really need to be there, you know, I need to have the touch with nature. Sometimes you ask me, why you want to go to the mountain, you know, why, if you can do the same, like pray or meditation in the house. And I was like, I need to touch the soil, you know, I need to, because I feel the trees, you know, I feel the trees, I feel the soil, I feel all creatures everywhere, and I am like amazed to that, you know. In the house it's not going to be the same vibration. So with the diet you grow into that feelings, into that sensitive, you know, you sense your sense,
you feel
more
I mean, and that's stuff that I don't talk about a lot, and I don't even know why, but probably just because I know a lot of people don't relate to that. What would happen if I start talking like that? People will listen and like it, but it'll be like entertainment. Like they'll listen to it like, oh wow, that sounds really cool, but they don't know what I'm talking about, like, or feel it. You know, if I start talking about like, if I'm walking through, I mean, I'm having conversations with trees. People would think I'm, you know, if I start talking about it like that, people think I'm nuts, you know, but that's real. Like I'm going through and I'm high-fiving branches and they're telling me secrets, and I'm getting all kinds of information just walking through the woods, like, you know, but it's been like that for a long time. But I don't know. I never knew how to talk about that without becoming one of those guys that people just like, okay, here goes one of these guys. Like it sounds like really nutty. It is like, well, sorry, but you know, but it's sort of like just personal experience, you know, when you really get into that. And then, and that's where the diet comes in, because that can then open you up. That just because even if you were already interested in nature a little bit, you know, then you start cleaning yourself up, and it just opens you up, man. You're getting all kinds of messages and vibrations, and it's like that positive energy. You know, I love going out like midnight, like real late night in the middle of the woods and just walking around, and, you know, and I would have to like show people how to like, how to not use like flashlights. Like I know how to, you know, there's ways to walk where you can just where you just feel the ground, you know, and you can you don't need a lot of light. Use a moonlight,
watch the stars,
or what? Moonlight, you said?
Well, yeah, the moonlight, unless you're in a, under a lot of trees or something, but your eyes adjust if you let them, at night, your eyes adjust, and then you can see pretty well, if you let your eyes adjust. And but I love that. Yeah, just because it's peaceful.
We do that a lot.
The deers are come hang out. I've had that happen, because they're running around at night. And if I'm out walking around at night, they'll be like saying, "What's up?" Like, who's this guy? He's okay. He's just out here like us, is nocturnal type of person. But
that is very. If people can do that more often and really do that, like no think about it. No, it's not about to. I wish no. Just do it, sometimes connect, sometimes go and really listen, and you will listen also to your body more, your body is telling you and talking to you constantly, but we don't listen most of the time. So that contact with nature makes you to like really understand, really absorb that knowledge that is there. But you want to be blind,
right?
About that. that.
This is a before and after.
Exactly. That was in 2011, I believe, and I started practicing on 2015, like last months of 2015, and immediately, it was a lot of changes, and everything also started because I had my best friend at the time. He was killed, and then it made a lot of shocks in my life. Like I was into emotional, I was into like all kind of situations in my mind, in my life, in everything, and that caused me like to get closer to when you touch the darkest of your life, you just want to start going back and check about many situations in your life, and that was like the point. And also his wife, that she's practitioner, she showed me those works, and it's when I start eating papaya every day, and my body was responding to that, because at that time, if you see my body, one of the biggest part of my body is the belly. So when I start practicing, one of the things that was reducing exactly like the part of the belly, my legs are not too big, my arms are not too big, but all was concerned, like was that a lot of weight in poo, a lot of poo accumulated there, a lot of.
And you can see like that that physiology, if you'd have kept eating that way, because you'd like the aging process is really accelerated. A
lot of old poo in the start my first fasting. I was taking out stones of poo, like hard. The first enemas were like stones, stones of poo. So imagine the amount. I was like having 30 something pounds of only poo, because when I was young, I was going to the toilet maybe each 5 days, each 4 days. And I didn't know that was not normal,
right.
So my whole time practice with the diet has been to improve that constipation. Nowadays, after doing enemas every day, or like almost every day, like as much as I can, I have improved in that sense. Nowadays, I go to the toilet maybe twice, but every day. So it's like a lot, like your body is telling you, like, is saying thank you, because you are keeping all this poo from harmful foods, And you like, it's horrible, you know. I suffered when I went to the toilet. It was painful for me, you know. So how I am not going to get sick, you know? And then I went to the doctor, and the doctors didn't even know what I had, you know. I was like going to the hospital, million of tests, different tests, that, oh, you have an autoimmune disease, you have this, you have that, that you are like, no way.
Right. Yeah. They just making everything up. Like, oh, you got this.
Yeah, I don't want to be like that. No. What I said in the beginning of the interview, like my sister-in-law, she was a close sister to me, and she was taken to the hospital, and they, like, she got a bacteria. Of course, corticoids work like creating like against your immune system, like that, you know, like it's a very aggressive anti-inflammatory.
Antibiotic.
Anti-inflammatory, like for swelling.
Inflammatory.
Yeah. So she was taking a bunch of that. So she didn't have how to defend against bacteria. And imagine the amount of bacteria in a hospital, like it's a lot. So she finally got a bacteria and a kidney disease, and so anything worked on her. So she died. Like, I saw her one day, and next day I called and she was dead. And I was like, wow, next year they are telling me that I am going to have the same. Like, I was
no, thank you.
I don't have that.
Right.
No, I don't have that. Then I was more conscious about what I was eating, more conscious about many things, my life. And yes, it's like the whole time you are attacking your body, you know, like what the doctors, or like this system, or this not system, but this society is telling you every time is to attack your body, you know, attack yourself, you know, kill yourself.
attack. Yeah.
Kill yourself. However, you know, take these antibiotics, take this, take that, and never clean yourself, you know, like never, because enema are dangerous, enemas are bad when you already have messed up with your body, you know. Right. And as a woman, imagine also, like, I had also, after this about my friend, my best friend, also I had a miscarriage. So all that, you know, like, was making me grow, like what I have put in my womb in order to have fibroids, you know, why I am having this miscarriage. This is not normal. And they are telling you that is normal. You know, the doctors tell you, like this gynecologist. One day I was talking with her about the diet. Actually, she said, oh, you know, black women have a lot of fibroids. Almost 100% of black women have this. Also, like most of women, 80%, you know, a lot amount of women have fibroids, but that is normal. I am like, how that is normal? How a baby is going to grow when you have a fibroid and you call it that is normal? Actually, they tell you at the hospital that have miscarriage. A lot of women have miscarriage every time. I was like hundreds of women having miscarriage. And I was like, wow, you know, like how this is normal, how you can call this normal, you know, when you having these fibroids, because like, oh, take this contraceptive, you know, have like stimulate yourself having sex because you are okay. You have this contraceptive thing in your body, so you are not going to get pregnant. So that is okay. You can have like sex, like with whoever, you can be okay.
Oh yeah. We'll fix it.
All kind of things that they all every time tell you. Right. And then when you touch that place, oh, you having a miscarriage, you having this, you having that, you lost your sister, you like people is sick and you are sick now, and what you going to do? You are going to die? Like, no, you have to get some love for yourself. You know, like you have to find to find your life back, you know, because you are killing yourself. And it's not why you are here. You know, you are not here to kill yourself. So that is when I just was like, okay, I have to go with my treatment. You know, I have to change my diet, change my life, love myself as a woman, you know, love my womb, like clean myself, clean myself as like my whole body, you know, like whole a body the whole time. And that is what I keep doing with my transition, is to find foods that make me go to the toilet, you know. So that is the reason why I love papaya. That is why I eat maybe the most with bananas. And then it has changed a lot, you know. Then when like almost it was around September maybe or August that I start doing these enemas continually. And that is like has been more progress, like quicker progress in my transition. Actually, now that you was in around that time, now he say that he see my progress through in that sense, because I'm like, I celebrate every time I come to the toilet. I went to the toilet.
Like,
yeah, we are like, yes, good job. Actually, that was happened with John, who is practitioner
thank you, Anna.
too. If he's connected, I say hi to him.
Yeah.
And we were practicing that with him too. Like every time we went to the toilet, because I was already doing enemas every day and recommend him to do enemas. So we were like, did you poo? Yes, I poo. Yes. So the whole time, because he has having that kind of issues too with his health, like about constipation. So now it's like, yeah, those like fruits are like, ooh. I love fruits. And yeah, I have problems like with things like bread. But I hope someday, like no more. Yeah, that is John.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's lovely person, and yeah, he's also growing into the practice. He was helping me here a lot. Like I give thanks that he just take the risk, you know. I say to Brother Aid, like he never take the risk to come. He's afraid to come because of the dogs. He say, no, I go if the coa go. He say, I'm like, you are a chicken, you know. I imagine him with all these animals. It must be funny. But dog was here helping me. This dog was one of my patients who had got cancer. And he finally died with, like, I kept him because he was kind of abandoned. Like somebody was taking care, but no giving him love. So right. I was like, okay, at least the last months he's going to have love. So John was so lovely with the animals. The animals love him. He was like every morning went to the sunshine and drink orange juice and then pet the dogs. He was like that. So yes, it's like a lot of things that you face while the transition. It's not easy, of course. Like it required discipline. It required like will, you know, and a lot of love. Like if you don't love yourself, you destroy yourself. So yeah, when you work in that constantly, you observe yourself. You observe your progress the whole time. It's a progress the whole time. Even it's a slow progress, but like maybe in a week oh, okay, now I don't poo every 3 days. Now I do it every 2 days. Or like, now is every day. Now is twice a day, you know. Now
Yeah,
I
right.
ate and went to the toilet, you know. Like that is, wow, that for me, this practice has been, but the whole thing make the change, you know, like now I feel alive, you know, it's sort of, now I have life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said.
Yeah,
said.
exactly.
So yeah, well, it was beautiful having the two of you on. And we'll start wrapping up. We got a good little 3 hours in. That's a good one.
Yeah. What moment?
Yeah, that's a good one.
When that happened?
Yeah, it's like flowing, you know, we just kicking it.
Yeah.
And so that's what's good, you know. I like that. So I encourage everybody again, if you go up to the top, I pin in the comments, I pinned the donation link. If you donate to the Callum Thomas Farm Sanctuary, and say the full name of it, because there's the Spanish at the end. Is that a separate organization or is that all the same?
Oh, Salvaguarda.
The Fundación.
That is a foundation that I create in order, because here as the cows and the minories and everything that people, how they explode the soil and the animals and everything. So they have done with the wildlife, like what I say, like the homeless dogs, they are going to eat, they have to survive, so they have to kill the wildlife. So this foundation was created in order to conserve the mammals that go around the lagoon. Here we have a lagoon, and this place is very rich in water. There's water coming everywhere. So there are mammals that have disappeared. So I create that foundation in order to help with that.
And what's its name? How do you say it?
Fundación Salvaguarda.
Okay. Does that mean like Safeguard Foundation? That's what it comes up with.
Yeah.
If you translate it in Google Translate.
So that was with that purpose, but it has been so hard because here the corruption in Colombia is like big corruption. So I started doing that, but I was feeling so tired, you know, because it was like, okay, if you are friend of the mayor, if you are like close to it, doing whatever they want. And you as a woman, like that is like, okay, how you are going to pay me, you know? So I was like, oof, I have been tried, but it's very, very difficult to work here. Like also, I don't know if you have seen, maybe some people have seen here in Colombia, we suffer a lot of violence. Mm-hmm. Somebody said that when people eat meat and live in the tropics, they get very violent. Yeah. So here, because of violence, it has been very, the violence in Colombia and the corruption is so hard to work here. So here the leaders, the environment leaders, or the leaders in general, social leaders or whatever, they always get killed. So it's like also dangerous, you know. So I do my thing with how I can without like government things.
Without making too much much noise and they'll because it's not.
I do my thing. I plant trees. I do what I can do, you know, like I have planted here in this sanctuary. I have planted around more than 200 trees.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So that's definitely some beautiful work that you're doing there. And so happy that I had you on the program to get to show the community what's going on. You know, we had some brilliant people that's doing really amazing things in the mucus-free community. And so it's time for us to start, you know, patting each other on the back more, and, you know, just kind of getting it, because no one else is going to do it. And so I really, definitely appreciate the work that you're doing, and, you know, and coming on the program and sharing. And everybody, if you can, like I said, anything helps in terms of donation. And I definitely encourage that. So and Q, so you're how long are you there? You're gonna be there like, because I have a feeling you're gonna get stuck there. You ain't gonna leave. You're gonna be like,
no, I am like, no, don't go.
So I'm back next Friday, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So been out here about a month and a half.
Nice.
Good stretch.
Yeah, the time is like
fast.
It's like, we haven't done anything, you know.
Right. It's like you gotta get a year in just to get your feet wet, you know.
Yeah. But it's at least like each time I'm coming, I'm learning more, especially on the nature, that nature vibe, and even the
machete vibe.
Machete and the building.
Now he's like,
like connecting more with that aspect. And especially with the building, because that's something I am interested in, like Aqua Mound Builder. He's into building, you know, like building the vegetable garden, or he's gardening. So, you know, really tapping into that aspect, like, okay, let's measure this. And like, even with this project, it's a nice engagement with building, because then you can take that information and then translate it into building something else.
Right.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah, like nature teach you what to do.
Yeah. Exactly. So I appreciate you guys coming on here. Really enjoyed this. Everybody in the chat, give a thanks, or do a little clap emoji for our guest today, like Andrea and Q. Like and share the video.
Subscribe if you're not subscribed.
Subscribe.
But you probably subscribed if you're here.
If you're still here now. These are the 20 folks that are definitely subscribed and have already signed up for the newsletter, and probably coaching in the coaching program and all that good stuff. And so, but I definitely appreciate just all that, because like as I talked about earlier, they're making it more difficult in trying to deprioritize our videos and all that kind of stuff, and taking them down and threatening taking the channel down and all that. So, we just all we can do is the best that we can do, and we just get out here putting this information out, trying to put vibrations that can change the world. I mean, it's like we just sharing vibrations, but it's, when you're fighting against those dark pus-based vibrations, it's like, you're fighting against a lot of darkness. And so, you just kind of do the best you can. Like you said, plant your trees, grow your garden, share the information with some people that you think are ready. And all the while you're cultivating yourself, cleaning yourself up, elevating your consciousness through study, through experience, all that kind of stuff. Oba, what's going on? ain't heard from Oba in a minute. So
sorry.
Yeah.
So just showing like, Andrea made this art right here. So this is the
nice.
So it's the background of my album, like my last album, Salad. and not like that's where it came from. You know, it's not like a graphic.
Okay, I that's interesting because I thought you had made it. I just assumed that you had made it. Okay.
Nah, I just focused on the music, and then I fed off of that and like really wanted to make it because she knew what it was, so like how special it was. Yeah. So she just like put that full energy in it, like in this salad here. It's like all like the little Mucusless Diet Healing System book. Yeah.
Because I remember you showed me that. I was like, oh, it's tight. Yeah.
The kung fu weapons, music instruments, my like pictures of my family, pictures of us together. Yeah. Like the enema bag. There's a mini enema bag right here. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I think that everyone, like when we back to that nature, I think everyone have like, we are artists, you know, in somehow like we are artists naturally, but we get that knowledge like take away from us because you cannot paint in the walls. That is bad. No. Well, that gets into that what really separates us from the underdeveloped humans. You know, it's like the music making, you know, the art creation on the level that only we can do. And you know, and that's because that's some serious you know, that ability to, because that's why music is such it just historically has been something, and just art in general, something that people have tried to control. You know, the ruling class and the rich people, just they say, if you want to know who's running the world, look who's hiring all the artists. You know, and you can see, look at all these musicians that were hired to play that you know, lame Grammys thing. You know, it's like that, but that's where the money is, and that's where the consciousness is. You know, but there's so much power in being able to control and use the vibrations for good. Like when you're channeling these positive vibrations in the music, and it's changing things on a different level. And so I'm real real into the art. That's super important part of this whole thing. You know, just that can help raise consciousness in ways that just a lecture or talking or whatever can't do. It's, you know, it's getting something real fundamental. And then, like you're saying earlier, that's what happens where there's so much noise pollution with this, like, just filthy. It's just basically filthy music. I mean, objectively and subjectively, it's just filthy. Like they talk about it like we're dirty South. We dirty. You know, it's like it's all about being like, because it's a competition about who can be the filthiest, who can be the nastiest, who can just be the just who's the nastiest. That's what this whole thing is about. You know, like if you can be the nastiest, you get put on a pedestal. You know, you're the one that's running the show. And so, and here we come when you trash music nowadays, like it's like wow. That is another aspect, but we are running out of time. But like being in the music.
Well, we'll have to have another discussion. So we'll do a music episode, you know, because that's a whole other thing we didn't get to, is your music, working with different artists and some of that kind of stuff that you do as well, which is like, I don't know how you can do both. Where you have time to do, like, you know, music management and run the farm and that kind of stuff, and artist management. But
that's been crazy.
But
but it's that you need to, like, okay, I'm doing the works here, but also you need to bring the message to the world, you know. And I think like music is like Cuba is the artist that I work with. he said the repetition of the message, like a program your mind. So you gotta do the opposite of what they are doing. They are talking about
the filth.
The filth. The drugs,
like,
sex, and rock and roll.
You need to keep doing the opposite the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, like you need to bring the message because that is part of to serve. You know, when you serving others, you need to like create this programmation or the programming of this system. You know, how people make, like how the society make this programmation the whole time, you know, this agenda the whole time, and they keep going, you know, through the music is how a lot, like how people get in this programmation, crazy programmation, you know. So Yuva speak a little bit about to environment topics, about the animals, about the diet too. He is speaking some of his songs. So I was like, this talent needs to be listened to the world, you know. So sometime when I have had the moments to spread this message, I go in tour. But this is another discussion, you know, a complete different discussion.
We'll have to have a meetup. We'll do one of those live meetups. We haven't done that in a while, where we have like, you know, 5 or 6 people on here and we just kind of get into some discussion. He's
starting the practice too. He's like into that topic. I remember in one of our tours, I was talking about these words and I was telling him rice is paste, and he immediately after that tour he stopped eating rice. No more rice. It has been those artists that really do what they think about, you know, because many talk about like change. Create the change or whatever, and then they are doing another thing, you know.
Off stage and behind the scenes. They're living a little different life.
He's very real. So I am like, I got you, you know, my support. It's not easy. The music industry is like, wow. Every time I see artists, I am like, I respect the artists. If there are artists here connected, you get my respect, because it's a lot of work and no appreciate when we all listen to music. And no supporting, you know, and not supporting the real artists. We support like some people support is like this trash music.
Right. Exactly. That's like a whole other episode. We start getting into talking about the music and just the state of this whole pop thing is just so bizarre, you know. And I just studied the history of pop music, and it's like, and there's some that I like historically, but it really is like like I look at it like it's children's music. Like it's really this Arrested Development, a lot of it. You know, because it's the content, the things that's being talked about, like a lot of the stuff that gets real popular. It really is. It's like, I don't know who knows. You know, when I grew up, it was Sharon, Lois, and Bram, the Elephant Show. That was like they sang for kids. You know, it was like they were made music for kids. And I look at like a lot of the rap. It literally was like, okay, you went from Sharon, Lois, and Bram, then you turned 12 or 13. And then you went over to like Snoop Dogg or something, you know, like you got in, it was like, but it was still this kind of, you know, this more adolescent themes and you know, just this adolescent type of stuff. And it'd be cool if then there was, you know, some of the, and I know that there's more advanced stuff that exists, but it's not popular. And it's hard to get us, you know, when you start talking to like the me and Brother Air, and about content in art, you know, it's like, you know, probably the heaviest I mean, we talking to the guy that probably made the heaviest hip hop album and song that's out right now, sitting here Q with the animals all day. That's probably the deepest thing that's out, you know.
And if you keep singing that, you are going to get an enema sometime.
Yeah, like you gotta, you know, it's gonna,
Okay, I will try it at least.
You know,
go looking up.
Because that's what needs to be out there. But you know, people that the kids listen to and everything, but they, you know, it's just so far off right now. But we're yeah, but we're doing that work, because what's going to happen is we'll the more we develop the arts in our community, and we're able to put it out there better than we have, you know, it's people are going to be like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on over there? It'll start the movement that we've always wanted to start, the arts movement. And so I'm looking forward to that. That's something I definitely want to be a part of, starting and like really getting that going, like a real renaissance, an artistic, because for true creative people, this is like the mucus-free lifestyle community is like a field day, because it's no one's doing nothing on it. It's not played out. It's not like, you know, and you can take any topic, anything that's happening in the world, any news, any old forms of art, new current things, like you can fashion, you can take anything and put it through that filter of mucus-free lifestyle, and you will be like an instant, all those people, they'll be like, that's genius. You know, it's like, you'll be like, my secret is I'm putting it through the filter of the Mucusless Diet. Like, it's just, you take all these other things, you just put it through the Mucusless Diet filter, and it's like, it's gonna be different. You know, it's gonna be something. And so that's coming. That's definitely gonna be happening. And so, all right, y'all, I definitely appreciate you guys being on here. Appreciate all the love out there, and it's been a lot of fun. And so, yeah, just keep on doing your animals, keep on pushing, keep on keeping on. You know, there's a lot of work, but it's the necessary work. It's the work that we have to do. And we're going to clean ourselves up, clean up this planet, try to create an environment where we can raise our children and our children's children in something that's safe and something that's not filthy, where you don't have to, you don't have to worry about your child getting a hypodermic needle in their arm because they're playing in the creek down at the park up the street. You know, like we
don't worry about to have children. Like, should I have children in this world? You know, like that is where the question.
Well, but that's why I'm like, well, we got to work. We do the work of trying to clean up and create our own space as much as possible, so that we have a place that where we can at least raise our children the way we want. And outside of that, just literally like a different country, you know, just a different. That's just like we might speak the same language, and we'll have an educational program. So they'll know how to communicate if they come into contact with the outsiders, you know, like how to, like, you know, the like Jedi level communication. You know, that's my thing, is like high levels of communication with that world when you have to deal with it. But, you know, but outside of that, it's like, now we just create our own everything just from the ground up, and let all this other stuff kind of wither away. And, you know, I mean, that's what's going to happen. Probably we'll see, but definitely putting our own stuff together is important. And,
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because it's like, when you are like the rooster, the neighbor still the rooster, I'm like in an island, you know. I don't want my children like no your neighbor like chicken to eat
like the neighbor sees your child, like your child crosses the fence, you know, and then the neighbor's like oh, grabs the child, you know,
or like only like telling the children that, oh, your parents, you know, those kind of situations like Johnny, what happened to Johnny, like those kind of things, like someone else tells you that, oh, you are not feeding them with protein, like you are killing them and all that, like then you take your children away. It's like, whoa. Yeah, I don't want to have my children in that kind of world, you know.
And I will, and you reminded me, real quick, I'll do a shout out to Jackie, who, so this is what you mentioned, the journey
that breaks my heart.
Her son's taken away from her and the son's father, totally unjustly. I mean, there's never a justification really for, you know, I mean, that's a complex discussion, but it's not by puss eaters, like, no, just leave us alone. But what just happened tragically is she just had another baby, and that baby was immediately taken away. Like, so she just gave birth. And that baby was taken away. And so everybody, you know, if you're on here, go check out Journey's Army. She's got a video where she talks about this and explains it. You know, go share that video around. You know, just try to spread this word around, because this is this is just evil. I mean, that's all it is, just pure evil. And we got to make some noise to just like try to help, because this is absolutely horrible.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. Well, that made me to take the decision to stop cheese, exactly because of that. Like, no baby should be separate of their mothers, you know, like, no, you know. Wow.
Yeah.
Oof, they are having like a wow, no.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't believe that. Like, yes, like, woof, this family
is awful. Just awful.
Yeah, it sounds like they're targeted for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And how to leave that country if they have their children there is like, oof. Evil is the devil. That is the devil there.
Yeah.
That is why.
And I have an episode with Johnny Gonzalez, and he talks about that journey, that whole thing, just the whole tragedy that they've been dealing with for, I mean, over a year, almost 2 years or something. I don't know forget how long. It's been a long time that they've it's like public kidnapping. They literally kidnap children, and then the state is making a lot of money off of every child that they take. And they got these little kangaroo courts that have their own very weird type of, like, just very questionable and weird arbitration system, and it's awful. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, this thing is over. Like, this whole thing, like, we got to do what we need to do to stay, you know, to kind of transition off of it and out of it, at least speaking if you in the US. But it's like just everywhere these governments are so constipated and corrupt. People are corrupt, and we got to be able to really protect ourselves and protect our way of life. You know, we're establishing a new way of life. You know, this isn't just a diet and just like, oh, I'm having fun. This is like, man, we're creating a whole new way to live as humans. And so we have to have a place where we can really do that unobstructed, without the threat of these idiots coming in talking about here, you're not feeding your child enough pus, so we're gonna take it.
Yeah, you are not feeding your child with their friends, you know.
Yeah, right. You're not feeding your children, your other family members. Because and
that is how I grew up here, like watching those kind of situation, because my parents, my family is from the countryside, so they don't mind to, like, they take a chicken and
right,
or put the knife to the calf, and I grew up watching that I was like, I was mad at my father, like doing that or hitting the animals or all that. I was always fighting. I still, like nowadays I do it from more conscious thing. Like I don't take it personal, because it's like his path, and I am like, even like it hurt me a lot. Like my father has done things like poison my dogs and things like that. I taken more about like emptiness, like constipation and all kind of, things like no self-love, no how he can love others, no receiving love from, like they have been farmers. So imagine they never have feel like a calf or a mother needs to be with their babies, like in this dairy industry, the babies are taken away the third day of born, while they have the first milk, and then they are separate. If they are female, they are taken away from their mothers, but if they are males, they are going to the slaughterhouse. So growing the whole life in this kind of like lacking of empathy, how can I ask him to do something about animals? So for me, it's like I don't even discuss with him.
Right.
I just try to forgive, because for me has been like animals are the point that how the universe is teaching me. So that is my biggest master. So when someone like my father, imagine like the father, your father is attacking what you love most. So that has been, my father has been my master, and I believe that is why I born in this family. Somebody has to put that. Somebody has the responsibility to put that chain of horrible, horrible, and perpetuate that slavery and that pain. So now that you show me, imagine, like I feel that I have that feeling when I observe animals that they are not my same species. So I cannot imagine what kind of people, what kind of people can see and take a baby from another, like from a mother. It's like they have had mother, they are in the world because they were the children of someone, So you taking that baby from like have the milk of the mother, like how that can happen, how somebody can have the mind, those judge are like this court people or whoever is doing that, how they cannot feel, like and at least make the research about if these children is eating some not appropriate the diet, or these parents are not responsible, how they at least take the time and the work to don't do that. That will be the last, like you must see if the parents are just I don't know, burning their hands or something like that, okay, but how they don't check if they are what they are doing with the diet, they haven't searched, you know, they haven't.
No. And I mean, and they're so dim on the topic. You can't even have that, because that's the prop. And that was sort of how this all started, was they were honest about what they were feeding the child. And then that was like, we got you now. It was like, well, wait a minute. I mean, we're feeding the child, like, you know, it's like, nah, but the child's not eating hamburgers, so we're taking it. You know, it's like, you're not giving it milk, we're taking it. You know, it's like that type of consciousness. And so it's, you know, it's like I said, you know, the Nuremberg trials happen for a reason. You know, like, you know, I'm all peace and love, but you know, I used to eat that pus, so there's a little of that. You know, I still got a little of that. So when it comes time to clean up, you know, hey, I mean, we plan on putting together a rehabilitation facility that will transition those that can be transitioned. But yeah, there's a lot of folks are just gonna have to stand trial, because it's just horrible.
You gave me like a goosebump with that news. Like, I am feeling like no, you know, I get with those kind of things, I am very sensitive, because like my nature as a woman, you know, like a baby, you know, taken away from you, I will be like, that woman must be so strong, you know, like,
yeah,
wow, all my respect to her. And I wish and send her like the best vibration, you know. I hope she just can get rid of this nightmare, because it must be a nightmare, like a everyday nightmare, you know. Like, for me, what I say, you know, when I remember about what happened with my rooster, is like, ooh. So for her, is the constant like on shock, you know. I don't know how she's surviving, you know, like my whole love, you know, like that is what they need, you know, love, these core people, and they really need this love, you know, because someone who has love in their heart cannot do this kind of things now at all, you know. And see this woman with the baby there, like, I don't know, like, I am like, whoa, the sensation in my body, you know.
Yeah. I mean, this is the work, you know, when people sometimes ask, like, well, where do you find your motivation to, you know, do all those enemas all the time and all this kind of stuff? And I'm like, you know, I've seen too much of the realities of this world and this planet, because I haven't run away from them. You know, I see a lot of people in my comments that they're the kind of people that like to run from reality, that want to run. They want to try to ignore the pain and suffering, and just kind of do like, oh, well, just be happy. Don't think about all the negativity, bro. Just be, you know. It's like,
or
man,
the change, the how you call it, the change that is natural that we eat meat, like the chain that is only the chain, the food chain. Or?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the circle of life, you know, the food pyramid, circle of life. I mean, they've come up with just the lamest theories and diagrams, and they've had to come up with so much nonsense to try to convince us that we're supposed to eat that stuff. And it's, you know, it's not going to work on us. We're, you know, we putting all that, you know, we're putting that in the dustbin of history. Well, that's our art back there. You see the food pyramid down in the tombstone.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. In pieces. Yeah. You know? And so, yeah, we got a lot of work, but that's the kind of thing. That's what motivates me. That what keeps me kind of going, because yeah, there's times where I'm kind of like, yeah, you like, it would be easy to just get off in the woods and just be at peace to myself, because I'm at peace, you know, like I'm cool, like I can go off and do that, but I'm also at peace because I'm supposed to do this work. I can also be in peace in midst of the chaos, you know, and that's something people don't understand, where there is a peace, like when you know, in a war, like we're in a war, you know, and there's a peace that you can find within that, when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing with it, and you don't let it get to you, and you're really a catalyst for change, and you're doing your best to not let, you know, all the negative energy and all that stuff that's coming your way, like you just rise above it and just like, I ain't even messing with it, just keep on rolling. And
yeah.
So all right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a great episode. And for everybody out there, keep doing your thing, keep doing them enemas, keep cleaning up. And you know, until next time, peace, love, and breath.
Thank you.
We are mucus free. 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 We are mucus free.